Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are you out there? Thinker St. James here with you on Sunday, and you know what Sunday means around here. It means Muay Thai. That's right. It is Muay Thai Sunday. Hope you had a great weekend as we wrap things up, getting ready for another week. We close things out. Something fresh for you, a little bit of Muay Thai to end this, what was a pretty long week for your boy, but, you know, new week, new challenges. We're going to leave that for tomorrow. Right now, we're getting into the Muay Thai. This is an interesting one tonight because we're doing RWS again. We're back with RWS, but for some reason, they broke the event up into 2 streams. Now, if you recall from last week, we did Thai Fight last week because they at RWS had a 4, almost 5-hour event, which is unusual for a 7-fight card. So I don't know if they're doing longer events and they're breaking it up, or if they just had some problems with their broadcast. We'll find out together. But both links are in the description of the stream. If you want to get queued up, the top link is the first of the 2. That's going to be the first one that we're starting off with. Hopefully that's the first one. I'm pretty sure that it is. I think I got them set up correctly over here. So, yeah, click that first link. Get yourself ready to go. Get yourself queued up to 000 on the playhead. And we're going to get started in about 9 minutes. So, thank you all very much for being here. Didgeridoo Dave is here. What up, Didgeridoo Dave? How are you, sir? Max, good to see you again, Max. How are you? Bleeding Edge is here. Muay Thai Sunday. Let's fucking go. Goddamn right. W for you all. Thank you very much for being here.
W.
Busy as a blue-assed fly right now. No time for watch-alongs. Have a great stream. Thank you, Didgeridoo Dave. I hope that you are well, brother. I hope that you are well. I hope things are going great for you, man. Getting ready to be Mr. Didgeridoo Dave to the new missus. Do you know Havat Hashem? He is a Muay Thai talent, 19 years old. No, I don't think I do. Where does he fight? What promotion? Yama, did you see NetSpend got sober? I did not. You know I do not follow NetSpend like you do, my brother. But if that's something that's helping him out in life, then congratulations to him. I don't know what he was, how deep he was into anything, but good for him. Bando Ninja Too Funny. I'm talking to you from a secure location. Don't worry, the 5 families won't get to me. We will talk here. Okay. Okay, brother. Well, be safe out there, my ninja friend. If you're on the run, you're moving smart. Chat through Fortnite like other covert ops. Thinker, your do is looking tight. Thank you, bro. Appreciate it. Everybody seems to like the short hair. Thank you very much. He fought in 1 championship. What's his name again? Ahavat Hashem? Yeah, Hashem. I don't think I've seen him. There's a lot of guys in 1 that I probably haven't seen at this point. Or I might have seen him. If he fights on 1 championship in the morning fights, I may have seen him and not known the name. I watch the 1 early fights, the morning fights, Friday fights or whatever. I generally watch those over on my buddy Chase Parton's channel. He does the morning streams on Friday mornings. But I'm usually working, so I'm kind of having to go back and forth and not really paying full attention. But if he's 10-0, then good for him. Sounds like somebody to keep an eye out for. Havat Gordon. Okay. So not Hashem. Ahavat Hashem Gordon. Gordon Hashem. Either way, the name does not ring a bell, but I'll keep an eye out. If he's 19 years old and 10-0, then I mean he must be doing things pretty well. Speaking of Muay Thai for the evening, of course, we've got a pretty, I don't know. I mean, this isn't necessarily a card with a lot of names that I recognize instantly. I think that we've probably seen a couple of these guys before. Of course, we've got the interim lightweight championship title on the line for this one. And then we've got a ladies banger fight. We've got a ladies banger fight tonight, guys. Do you believe it? We'll see how that one goes. We're going to get started in about 5 minutes. As I said, if you are wanting to watch along with these fights, the link is in the description. You'll be clicking the first of the 2 links, and then we're gonna have to switch over to the second link after this one is done. So both links are there for you. I've been following the post-fight narratives, and it seems like media and pundits agree with you that Carlos is getting the shot over Morales. I mean, I think it just makes the most sense. Like, I understand, like, I think you made some good points about why Morales, like, would be a good fight for him, and there is sense to be made there, too. But you know Prates is the name, man. Prates is the name. The fight style is fan-friendly. He's done the work. Yeah, he lost to Ian Gary, but I think that for whatever reason, I guess the aura has overtaken. He's a star, bro. And I know Morales is like a star too, but it's a different type of star, you know? Like, I would say that Carlos Prates is like doing like the character building in a way that is fan friendly as well, you know? People like the alcohol and cigarettes thing he's got going on. You know, he's got his little mustache and his sunglasses and he's lighting up inside the arena. He's like the bad boy. He's the bad boy with a Muay Thai base. Morales has the power, but he doesn't have the aura yet. So I think that Carlos Prates probably just makes the most sense from an organizational standpoint. But if they do end up doing Morales, I wouldn't be mad with that either. Both of them, I think both are deserving at this point. He fought against John Lineker and won by decision. Dope. That's a great win. John Lineker is a legend. Wasn't that one of the Gordons on GFN Israel versus the World? How was that card, Bleeding Edge? You know, I never caught up with you to ask you how that card ended up being. How'd the Israelis do? Wes, what's up, Wes? Came just in time. We got about 3 minutes before we're going to get started with this thing. That's crazy. You said alcohol and cigarettes, and here I am. You say it 3 times, and Carlos Prates pops up like Candyman. In the arena, people said UFC had a camera designated on Carlos for the whole fight and not on Morales. Interesting. You think they put that? You think they put the split screen together last minute? Huh. I wonder how that came together. I'm speaking to you from a remote location deep in the heart of the Andes Mountains. Andes Mountains? Andes nuts? I get you, bro. In the country, oh, okay, the actual Andes, in the country of Peru, and I want to assure all of you around the world that I am safe and I am here to avoid detection by my relatives and the authorities who wish to place me in an insane asylum. All right, bro is got a whole LARP going on right now. I don't think I've ever seen this in the chat before, so you take it away, Bando Ninja. I'm here for the ride. Muay Thai Sundays are a chill stream, so I mean, it's not like I really have to pay too close attention to these fights. Hopefully we get some good beanbags. Again, this is slightly, I would say, what seems to be, to me, a little bit of a weaker card on paper for RWS, but as we always say, those can be the best. Those can be the greatest cards of them all. So, of course, as I've said, we got about 2 minutes to start, so get yourself queued up. 000 on link number 1. Unfortunately, both of these are titled exactly the same, so there's not really a good way to differentiate these, but the link that you will be clicking for the top one should be a video or a stream VOD that is 1 hour, 4 minutes, and 35 seconds long. So the hour long, the hour and 4 minute long stream is the first of the 2 that we're going to be watching. I'm pretty sure that this is the beginning of their broadcast, and we got about a minute to go. So Get yourself queued up, people. I'm going to count it down, and I'm going to click the start button, and then I'm going to watch some Muay Thai, and I hope that you will join me in doing so. Hope you had a good week. Hope you enjoyed the fights yesterday. I was getting a little bit, I think I was getting a little bit irritated towards the end, you know? I was like, man, I would have liked to have seen some, like, a little bit more definitive action. I think a lot of people were impressed with Ian Gary, and I think that they, maybe thought that Ian Gary showed a good amount of heart and all that kind of stuff. My thought was that he started a little bit slow. I think it could have been a more exciting co-main and main, because up until that point, we were having a really good card. So I think I got a little irritated towards the end. Bando, we've been trying to get in contact with you regarding your extended warranty. I don't get the extended warranty ones. I get the ones where they say, your loan has been approved. Hi, it's, fucking John Smith. It's Sunday, fucking August 16th. I'm calling you about your loan. Your application's been approved. I get those ones like making it seem like I called them. I'm like, I know that I didn't call you. I don't understand how they think they're roping people in with that. I know I did not call you about a loan. All right, it is 10 after. Let's get this thing started here. We got about 3.5 hours to go on this card. So get yourself queued up, everybody. Make sure that you got the link. As I said, 1 hour, 4 minutes, 35 seconds is the correct VOD that we are starting off with. So get yourself queued up to 000, the very, very start. And we are going to get this thing underway in 3, in 2, in 1, Muay Thai. And there is your timer. Should be a static screen. I'll let you know when it translates over. All right, there you go. Yeah, 4 minutes, 36 seconds, 35 on the RWS countdown timer now. So yeah, 4 minutes, 30 seconds right there. 4 minutes, 30 seconds. My relatives are seeking revenge for the stolen authority key to the... What the fuck? The stolen authority key to the official family gas chambers for I do not know what they shall talk about. Okay, bro. Don't get too spicy with gas chamber talk around here, okay? A little bit of a sore subject for my ancestors. Great card until the last 2 fights. Yeah, Wes. He gave me flashbacks with the timer. All right, well, at least you're engaged with what's going on. I appreciate that, Bando. CTE, what's good, brother?
W.
How are you, sir? Still haven't listened to the song that you posted in the Discord yet. I'm going to do that. I will do that. I try to listen to every song that gets posted in there, but I saw it posted and then I had to do something else, but I will circle back around to that. But yes, we are underway with Muay Thai Sunday here. Timer is accurate. Got about 3 minutes, just over 3 minutes till the countdown timer will conclude, and we will start their broadcast, of course. As I've said, 2 links in the description here. For some reason, they broke up the broadcast, I guess. We're going to have to find out. Hopefully, if they broke up the broadcast, what they're doing is cutting out all of the unnecessary time, that downtime. You guys know as well as I do, I love RWS, but man, the fucking 25 minutes of just nothing, replays and fucking, the clips that they play in between the prelims and the main card and all this stuff. It's like, come on, man. Like, let's streamline this a little bit here. So hopefully that's what they did. Have you ever tried smoking toad venom with your local auto dealership manager? I've sure tried. Toad venom? What movie was that had the licking the toad thing in it? Oh, Best Friends? Isn't that the name of it? The one with Robinson, Tim Robinson and Paul Rudd? I thought that movie was pretty good. I liked that movie a lot, actually. I thought it was actually really funny. But yeah, he does the toad licking thing in there. It's called 5-MeO DMT. Huh. No, I can honestly and accurately say I have never smoked toad venom in my life. I've done a lot of crazy shit, but toad venom not among them. What do you think about Dean Thomas throwing a hissy fit on the post show and saying he's retiring from cornering? Yeah, that I'm possibly thinking about maybe dropping a video about that, because it is very unbecoming of a coach, I would think. Now I do understand like the reaction of like, look, you did take a fighter all the way to a championship opportunity, and she very much did not perform. But that I think that there has to be a level of class and dignity that you show as a coach, regardless of that. Because really, I think that you're making yourself look bad by doing that. So I'm on the fence about the video thing because I am getting a video out this week. I'm talking to the editor right now. He's working on a draft of it. So I got to find out when that's coming out. I don't know if I'm going to have time to do one tomorrow because I got to rewatch the fights, but I might try to get something out about that because it's not a great look for Dean Thomas for sure. And I do feel like Dean's he does have some like sometimes a little bit snippy shit that he says. You know, I remember after the Sean Strickland and Eric Nixick fallout or whatever, after the Sean Strickland fight, I think it was I forget which fight that was. One of the Dricus fights, I guess. He had some really negative things to say about Sean Strickland, and I was like, damn, Dean Thomas kind of coming out of his face right now, unprovoked, you know? He seems like he kind of gets, flies off the handle a little bit. Yeah, really added insult to injury for his fighter. I agree. All right, we got 5 seconds on the timer here before the RWS intro, and there you go. RWS intro has started. Headphones on. Dean avoids way too much valid criticism. Are people out there, like, criticizing him regularly, though? I don't know. Honestly, that's an honest question. I really don't know the answer to that. Like, does he have a lot of people that are, like, challenging him? Is he on social media a lot? I don't, honestly, I really don't know too much about Dean aside from the stuff that we all know. You know, him on broadcasts and stuff. Insane for a coach to say right after his student lost their first title fight, he should have been in the back consoling her, but instead he was out in front of the cameras embarrassing her. I think he was more embarrassing himself, you know? That's kind of how I feel about that part of it, but either way, bad look for sure. Yeah, I agree. I certainly agree. Uncalled for. And the thing, and what I had said in the Discord, and I think that the thing is that's most key to me is the fact that he said on the broadcast he had already been thinking about it. He had already been considering it in his mind. You know, he was already like, oh, if this doesn't work out, then this is as far as I can take her. I'm done. I'm not cornering anymore. Like even fucking Chris Weidman asked, he was like, bro, are you sure that you don't want to think about this a little bit more? Whatever. He's like, no, I thought about it. I already thought about it. If I'm whatever her name is, I'm not speaking to Dean Thomas ever again. See, you already forgot Jillian Robertson after that performance. Dean Thomas did it as well, I guess. Telling the world that your fighter who just lost the biggest opportunity of her life has peaked in this loss, it's unbecoming of a coach. That's, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, well, I know that you've been hating on Dean. For sure. Yeah, you and I guess several other people in the Discord. People will post when he says stupid shit on the broadcast or when he occasionally corners. All right, fair enough. Maybe it's time. Maybe this is going to be the thing that turns people against Dean, you know? I could understand it if it is. I'm sure that we're not the only ones having this conversation right now, you know? He got so much praise this week just to throw it in the trash. He's a constant hot take merchant online. That's kind of where I was going with that. Because like I said, with the Strickland thing, like, if you go back, I did it was a live stream, I think, when I did the live stream about Strickland, or no, it was a Yama episode. It was the Behind the Mask episode about Sean Strickland, where I said, you know, he's not really the killer that he claims to be behind the mask, you know? And I think I put that Dean Thomas clip in there where I was like, damn, Dean Thomas is coming out of left field criticizing Sean Strickland. Like, he went on Helwani to do that criticism. Like, why, bro? Who asked you, Dean? You know, I mean, like, look, Dean, I know that you're a coach. I know that you're an analyst and all that, but like, you didn't have to weigh in. World Series. Bia Suwanek getting us started. I don't have anything against them Buddhist sculptures you find it in those Thai massage places, but sometimes they can really get out of hand. You do not want to know what I'm going to do to one of those when I have my appointment at 3 p.m. Thursday this week. All right, well, if it involves something that's going to be against the law, please don't tell us. We do not need to be party to whatever ill intent you have towards Buddhist statues. Desecrating a Buddhist statue is probably a major sign of disrespect. So, do that at your own risk and the risk of making lifelong enemies out of generally peaceful people, from what I understand anyway. Even John Anik is criticizing him online for his remarks on the post fight. Oh, CTE, can you post if that's a tweet or something or a clip? Can you post the clip of that in the Discord, please? That would be very helpful. Yeah, I'd like to hear that. In fact, I mean, if there's more of that, yeah, that would be helpful for the possibly if I end up making the video. Obviously, I do my own research and stuff, so I could probably find it. But homie move if you would do that for me. Thank you, brother. Zero, right? You know it's horrible if John Anik is publicly criticizing him for not even just man-to-man publicly on Twitter. Yeah, oh yeah, criticizing him not even just man-to-man publicly on Twitter. Yeah, I definitely did. Look, none of that really surprises me. I mean, like, I am not surprised in the slightest that he's getting backlash for it. You know what I mean? I am certainly not surprised by this. Very smooth voice you have. I'd love you popping zins with Daniel Cormier commentating on the Dana against Shevchenko fight. The Dana against Shevchenko fight? What do you mean by that? Dana White is fighting Valentina Shevchenko? I take Valentina. Valentina in 2. Valentina, second round TKO, body shot. Soft belly Dana. Is Dana White still jacked? This is something I wanted to bring up. I was going to save this for like a video for a rainy day. But do we all remember when Dana White got like insanely jacked for a second and was claiming that it was all natty when it quite clearly was fucking juice? Dana White with that fucking nutritionist guy claiming that he was doing fucking whatever the fuck's earthing. What is that called? Where you like grounding. It was a combination of nutrition and grounding. Yeah, sure. I saw that too. I thought, damn, if Anik is saying something, you fucked up. Yeah, most definitely. Anik is, in my opinion, one of the true barometers of good in the sport. Obviously, you know that John Anik is my hero when it comes to commentary. And, as far as who I would like to emulate in my own commentary that I do. And I do think that he's a good man at the end of the day. I really, from all that I have ever known and seen of John Anik, ever heard about John Anik, I think he's like, that like morally neutral territory right there. He's a good barometer of where like the atmosphere of the sport is at any given time. So if he's saying something, yeah, there's a problem. Shevchenko called Dana out for underpaying women because apparently they waste half their pay on the braiders for their fights. What? That's fucking funny. Dana, we need more money. You don't know how much these braids cost. You know how much it costs to put a heart design in Tracy Cortez's head? It ain't cheap. Dana has the I do steroids but don't lift regularly physique. Exactly. Trying to pass it off as natty. Shut up, dude. He was hanging out with Dr. Mike. Some science-based lifting. Anthony Smith is innocent. He might be. But hello. Watch the video that I did about it. Pink Dana? True. Getting angry at Val. Bullet versus Pink Dana. Fight of the century. Sam. What up, Sam?
W.
Bam. Bleeding Edge knows what's up. All right. Bro's got a crazy back tattoo. This is Claudio Abitua. Yeah, he's going up against Salavat Isaev. I'm going for the Russian. This is a Chilean versus a Russian. I think I know where my money would be placed in that head-to-head, not knowing either fighter. But we'll see. Hopefully the power of that crazy-ass back tattoo can take our Chilean to victory. All right, first fight of the evening starting up here. Yeah, featherweight fight. He also has Violencia in size 14 font Helvetica on his chest. Bro, remember that guy we saw in Lux who had the Times New Roman on his stomach? What is up with people? What is up with people with these tattoos, bro? It's like, I really want a tattoo, but I don't care about the design. Hey, Bia Suwanet is here. When are we getting our ring girls back? I miss Wimmel. I miss my Wimmel. Carlos, what's up, brother? I think I saw you earlier. My bad, bro. How are you, sir? Good to see you, bro. Thank you for all your hard work. New clips are coming out. Will be coming out for the next couple of days, of course, and more after that, always because of the hard work of our dude, Carlos. Are you ready? You know I'm ready, Bia. Please tell me Jeremy told Dante Johnson to finish his stomach tat. Yes, I hope that he did. We have to check in with Jeremy and find out if he texted him. It should have been a very quick text. All it had to say was, congratulations, great win, finish that fucking stomach tattoo. That's all he had to say. And then a little emoji at the end to make sure that he knew that everything was cool. You know, what I always do, the praise hands emoji. This one. AI tattoo artists, bro. What a fucking cooked generation. What a generation of cooked individuals if they are using AI for their tattoos. That's sad, dude. Hey, there. Speak of the devil. Jeremy is here. Yes, Jeremy. Jeremy, did you send the text? First of all, hello and how are you? Second of all, did you text Johnson? Did you text Dante? Did you text him to let him know that the Blood Palm is very proud of him? And also that he needs to finish the peace tattoo. I'm just now seeing the Violencia tattoo, by the way, Bleeding Edge. That's fucking hilarious. He's got it even. I will give him credit, though. His is bigger than Ian Gary's Choose Love. One of the softest tattoos in the game. Ian Gary's Choose Love tattoo. Yama, jokes aside, you are an extremely underrated streamer. Def should be number one. Really appreciate your streams. You won me money a lot of times when my breast milk was still flowing. If that's a slang for when money was good. When my boss pays me, expect some subs to come your way. Really love you, bro. More than the ring girls. I'll go because I have to debate about Somalia, but just know that you have a lover or a stalker, whatever you want to call it. Hey, Bando. That's a very long-winded way to say what you said, but I appreciate the sentiment. Thank you very much for being here always. Good luck staying out of the clutches of the five families. All right, first fight is underway, finally. Jesus Christ. Claudio versus Salavat. Salavat on the offense early. Nice low kick for Claudio. 2 low kicks. I'll text him. I haven't yet. Okay, Jeremy. Let him know. We are all pulling for him, not only in the fight game, but also in the freshness game, in the freshness department. First of all, he needs to get himself some Yama merch. We got to get this guy on the show at some point. Second of all, the tattoo is just out of love for him and wanting him to be the freshest possible. Ian has Jamal Hill level tattoos, bro. I wouldn't even say Jamal Hill. You know who's his tattoos remind me of? His tattoos remind me of Jake Paul. If you've ever seen Jake Paul's tattoos, his tattoos remind me of his. I don't know exactly how to describe it aside from that, but like if you take a look at Jake Paul's tattoos, they remind me of his. Jake's got more of them, but like that's who he reminds me of with his tattoos. I saw something sad. Wimelmet lists her experience at RWS for 2022 to 2026. I think she left us. No! I need the Darth Vader no scream on the soundboard. Shit. Damn. That's getting added to the list. Darth Vader no. Because that is how I feel about that. No! Damn it. Well, that really hurts my heart, but I will always love Wimmel. Hopefully she's on to bigger and better things. Maybe she's going to go be a ring girl for one championship. Maybe it's a feeder system for ring girls as well. Tattoos like a Chipotle bag, yo. That's fucking great. Ooh, beautiful fucking front kick to the face from Salavat. Ooh, and a spinning elbow. Oh, Salavat looking good. Ruski over here. How much juice is coursing through his veins. Another nice elbow in the clinch. Bro is crushing right now and got him cut too. All right. Oh, and a late hit. He was like, my bad, dude. he knew it was a late hit. But yeah, great job for Salavat. Isaev. Good deal. Good. This is a good fight to start things off. Yeah, just dump an entire bottle of water on him to get to clear out the blood. That's a good way to corner. You know, don't actually put the Vaseline on. Don't put the Q-tip. Just take a bottle of water and just dump it on his head. Art of the 8 limbs at work right now. Cornerman gave him uppies. Yes, I love when they do that. They do that a lot in RWS. I don't know if we see that as much in one championship, but in RWS you see it pretty often. I'm still waiting for a fighter to put their arms straight out and go, wee! Or start singing My Heart Will Go On. All right, Salavat wins round 1. I'm king of Muay Thai! Oh, man. Thank you guys for being here on a Sunday night with your boy, man. I appreciate it. Hope that your week is good. If your week wasn't good, I hope this coming week is better. I'm really looking forward to this week because I really am very, very hopeful that I can bring this project that has been going on for way too long to an end. And if I can do that and get paid for this project, whew, we are going to be so golden. Then all you got to do is find the next project. And of course, as I said, a new video should be out this week. I am very excited. I should be getting a draft of the new video edit tonight. First time working with an editor, aside from Carlos. So this will be interesting. This is for a long form video, of course. This is not a short form like Carlos does. So this will be interesting. Found a dude who is a video editor and seems to know ball when it comes to MMA. So hopefully this will look good, and maybe we start forming a little relationship with this editor. We'll see. I'll keep you posted. Round 2 has begun, of course. Ooh, nice body kick for Claudio. Ooh, another elbow. Yo, Isaev with these elbows is looking really nice. Nice elbow for Claudio, though. What is his name? Abaitua. Nice work in the body there. JH, what's up, brother? What are we watching tonight? We are watching RWS Muay Thai, my dude. Link is in the description. The first link is the one that we are watching currently. And this timestamp right here above my head is correct. So go to that timestamp and you can watch right along with us. Yeah, thanks for being here, brother. Good to see you, man. I hope you had a good week. You came just in time for the first fight of the evening here, and it's a pretty good one so far. Waiting for Isaev over here to fucking drop this dude. I think Isaev is walking away with this fight, even though Claudio is trying. Claudio trying to do his thing. Claudio just a step behind. There you go. Good connection. Isaev just using his knees and elbows very nicely, which it's Muay Thai, dude. You should be doing that all the time. Also, shout out to everybody who has been liking and sharing the stuff on TikTok. The Mackenzie Dern clip on TikTok is, I don't want to be a boomer and say it's going viral, but it is doing pretty goddamn well. I mean, it's got, I think, over 10,000. I think it's got over 11,000 views now. 11,000 views. I think it's up to like 120 likes. So for a small channel, I mean, a small account on TikTok. We only started about 2 weeks ago now, maybe a week ago, whatever. It's doing really well. So I really appreciate everybody who is supporting over on TikTok. If you have not already followed at Yama Show over there. Ooh, big connection there for Isaev. I think he might have just whiffed it, but I think he caught a little bit of the side of the glove. All right, another good round for Isaev. 2 rounds up. 11.7K. Thank you, Carlos. There you go. Exactly. We're rounding 12K. I mean, like I said, for an account that's we're just starting out with it in the big picture over here. That's really good. So I appreciate all the support. Make sure that you're following on TikTok at Yama Show. Help us become TikTok famous. Nice BJJ team event yesterday around 6, so that's why I caught the last couple of fights of the UFC card. Cool. I hope your team did well, bro. Were you competing or were you just supporting? Damn, spinning back fist was gnarly. But yeah, I hope your team did well, bro. Hope you took the gold. All right, another 10-9 round for our dude Salavat Isaev. Working it in this fight. 20-18 at the moment. We got round 3 coming up. See if Claudio can have a big reversal here. Claudio's going to need to pull a rabbit out of the hat. He's going to have to pull a horseshoe out of his ass and beat him over the head with it. All right, getting all of these cuts worked on, and then we got round 3. Don't stay here. Damn, corner yelling. I love, bro, the RWS corners are the most intense corners in all of combat sports, for real, dude. Yeah, Jeremy, I'm telling you, bro. These corners are like, they go fucking wild. You need to fucking move! I don't know that like it when you were standing here. You need to move! Like, bro, I'm just trying to fight. Shit, I don't give a fuck! Like, sorry. It's 2 fights. You gotta fight the opponent and you gotta fight your corner. Ooh. Yeah, all right. Claudio getting wily in the opening of round 3. Yeah, coming out hot, but Isaev staying calm, composed. He knows he's up 2 rounds. He's got to coast. That's Muay Thai. They scream like that in training too. Brother, it's combat, bro. This is why Muay Thai is the realest shit. This is why we have to do Muay Thai Sundays. This is why when we watch the prelims of Lux Fighting Championship, we gotta always circle back to the realness that is Muay Thai. That's why I love Thai fights so much. Yeah, exactly. That's right. They're in the corner just screaming like, "You're wrong! You like losing money! You're a loser!" Bro, I'm trying! Stop it! I'm sure it's happened before, but I'd really like to see a dude just fight his corner at some point. I wouldn't like it, but it would be funny. I've seen before where corner people have gotten into fights with each other, not with the competitor. But it would be very funny for a dude in the fight to just smack the shit out of his corner man. Fuck you! I'm trying my best. My homies went 3-2 Submission Hunters comp on Fight Pass. Oh, dude, bro, you should have told me. I mean, granted, we were watching UFC, but still. Let me know when your guys are competing, bro. If we're able to watch, you know, I would like to try to support, especially if you're competing yourself. Definitely. I think they were doing a 2-day event since they were in Dallas for Fury. Got you. 3-2 for the homies tonight in APFC 24. Let's fucking go. Let us go. I mean, couple L's in there, but that's a winning record in my book, bro. If you got more wins than losses, we are up. Shout out to the homies, man. Ooh. Nice right hand land there for Isaev. Yeah, congratulations to both of you gentlemen and your teams. Tell them that Yama supports, bro. The Blood Palm is here for you guys. Oh, dude, Isaev crushing right now, bro. All he needs is the finish, bro. I wish Isaev had more power in his hands. This fight would have been over. Oh, jeez. Switch kick. You won the co-main? Let's go, bro. Oh, nice elbow, too. Was the whole card really good tonight? Oh, for the APFC. Yeah, I was not watching that one, but yeah, hopefully the card was good, Jeremy. Yeah, were the fights good? I mean, even with your friends in it, you know, were they exciting fights? Did your guys get finishes? Yeah, hell yeah, dude. Card was decent? Gotcha. Yeah, I wish it didn't start so early. You know, I would have done it. We could have done it instead of Muay Thai, but 4:00. I gotta do the family thing. They should be on Fight Pass, I believe. Yeah, Isaev with the clearest 30-27 that we've seen. Yeah, we got 30-27 written all over this fight. Ladies and gentlemen. That's Anthony Pettis' MMA promotion. Yes. Anthony Pettis Fighting Championship. That is correct. He's usually at the events too. Shout out to him, man. I appreciate that I appreciate him doing that. I've always liked the Pettis brothers, man. Not enough violencia for Claudio. 2 RNC wins. Let's fucking go, bro. Hell yeah. All right. 30-27s across the board for Salavat Isaev. Very nice win. Good deal, bro. That's great. That's really cool. Love to see it. Was it any of the guys that we already saw fight in APFC the last time that we did it? Oh, yeah. We've got a dude from USA whose name is Central Farmer. Not East Coast Farmer, not West Coast Farmer. He is Central Farmer. Pettis' cousin got worked. Oh, geez. Yeah, well, I remember we saw him win, I believe, in the last time that we watched. But he got worked over? Damn, that sucks. Different guys? Okay, got you. Cool. It's good to see that you got a lot of guys that you train with that are all out there active, man. Soon, it will be you. And I cannot wait. I got to see my star client in action over here. Yama Industries is ready and raring to go. Yama Sports Management LLC, awaiting my clients. It's funny too, because every time that I work with contracts a lot now, in various forms. I mean, obviously not sports related contracts at the moment, but I work with contracts very regularly at this point. And every time that I'm reading over contracts, having to like kind of check for things and amending things and, working through contracts, I'm always like, I could definitely apply this to MMA. You know what I mean? Like I'm always thinking about like how I can bring it back to Yama. And there's definitely plenty of crossover there. I'm sure that there are some things that might be unique to the sports world, but nah, we'll be good, bro. We'll be good. I can also write contracts really well at this point too. You have a huge stable. I like it, dude. Oh my God, we're getting the fucking best of compilation already? Bro, we've only had one fight. RWS, why you do us like this? Oh well, gives me more time to hang out and chat with you guys. So, are we getting closer to getting a fight booked, Jeremy? JH, when are you fighting? Or doing BJJ, I guess. Who do you think is winning between Volkan Evloev and why? I think that it's a competitive fight. For as boring as Evloev is, he is very effective at what he does. I mean, Evloev has a style that may not be fan friendly, but it is certainly effective. And I can almost guarantee you that he is not going to try to pull the same shit that he pulled with Lerone Murphy, trying to do all of that fucking, I wanted to show that I'm a striker too. You didn't do that. But, you still somehow eked out a victory, even though a lot of people thought that you lost. One way or another, he is a fighter who somehow can navigate his way into wins. That being said, Volk on the other side, still the GOAT, as he always is, getting a little bit up there in age. Can he still do everything that he needs to do? Yada, yada. Oh, also, by the way, Max, Ahavat Gordon, they just showed a highlight of him. And he is Israeli, by the way, Bleeding Edge. But so anyway, Volk, the man, the myth, the legend, one of the guys on Mount Rushmore. Can he beat Evloev? I got to believe the answer is yes. I got to believe that Volk has seen everything that Evloev does. He took Islam to a crazy close decision in the first fight. Islam even said himself that it was the hardest fight he's ever had. They asked him, what was the toughest fight that you've had so far in the UFC? And he said the first Volk fight. So if Volk already went to a tough decision with Islam that a lot of people thought he got robbed in, I got to believe that he can beat Evloev. That's why sparring is always a battle, training harder than the fights. Yeah. Well, that's why you got to be careful, bro. You don't want to overspar. We got to make sure that your mind is limber and with us always. Fall for sure. Oh, I cannot wait. Coach isn't sure what weight he wants me to fight at. We got a couple of options. Some Muay Thai fights are on the table, and an MMA fight towards the end of the year, middleweight to heavyweight. Damn. How do you feel about that? Where would you like to fight at? Because I mean, if you're in the middleweight to heavyweight range, then I would think that you're probably walking around at light heavyweight ish. You're probably walking like maybe between 195 and something like that. Somewhere in there, 190, 195 ish. I would suspect. You're thinking light heavyweight? Okay. All right. If that's close to natural, that might be a good place for you if you're not trying to cut heavy. If you want to cut a little bit and try it out at middleweight, oh, you're walking at 211? Okay. I mean, that's still not that bad. I mean, that's not too far off. So that's an easy cut. Oh, 215. Okay. Yeah, I mean, what, a fucking 10-pound cut? That's nothing. Yeah, you'll be able to cut 10 easy. Um, I mean, cutting the middleweight, that would be a much bigger ask, but it's not out of the question if you want that advantage. But then you know exactly what we see out of all of these guys in the UFC. You can sometimes get in there making that cut. The cut starts to become harder down the line, or you just don't want to do it anymore. And then all of a sudden you're fucked because now it's like you're at a new weight. Oh, bro almost banana peeled himself going over the ropes. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you put yourself into a weird position if you start off at the lower weight, get a bunch of good wins, and then you're like, I can't really be making this cut anymore, blah, blah, blah. Joel Alvarez, bro. Joel Alvarez. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, the 10-pound cut, that's nothing. You'll be fine with that. Middleweight, yeah, middleweight is a tough cut if you want to do that. Yeah, 205 for light heavyweight, correct. But it really comes down to how you feel about that, because it's like if you want to do the cut and have the advantage, it's not impossible, and plenty of fighters do it on a regular basis. Look, this is one of those things that you got to dig deep into your own mind for the answer to. But to me, if you are confident in your skill set and you are comfortable at the weight, then I would go for the more natural weight, because you're not going to have to worry about cutting to a crazy extent. And if you start off at a weight that is natural to you, then you don't have to worry about what we're talking about here later on down the road. So I would say start off where you're most comfortable, and then, just be the man there. Like, worry about being the man there. And then you can always go up to heavyweight if you really want to. And if you're walking around at 215 right now, I mean, the jump up to heavyweight is not far at all from there. You're like right in the sweet spot right there. And you would probably be a pretty athletic heavyweight at that point. We've been talking about that. The Josh Hokits of the world should be a signal to heavyweight that, like, there could be a new crop coming in that is not just a fucking massive blob that can't move. You could be on that wave, An actual athletic heavyweight who isn't Guilherme Pat. What a fucking concept. Jesus Christ, Guilherme Pat. Talk about a guy who pisses me off. Bro is fucking naturally built to be an athletic heavyweight and yet cannot fucking figure it out, even though he fights at heavyweight. Do not be like Guilherme Pat. God damn it. Please, for me, Jeremy, do not be like Guilherme Pat. MMA and Muay Thai are different in terms of weight classes. That is true. But you can still fight at the more natural weight in Muay Thai as well if you can find an opponent for it. It's kind of rare that you have larger weight divisions for Muay Thai competing regularly, Generally, Muay Thai caps off around middleweight. Very rarely you'll get light heavyweight Muay Thai, but it might be different in the States because, we got bigger people on average in the States. You have good footwork and decent movement. Bro, if you have that and you have even a modicum of power in your hands, you can definitely be an effective heavyweight. Now, I'm not saying go into heavyweight. I'm not saying do that. I'm just saying, you watch the sport, you know exactly what I'm talking about. With what you just described, you could give a competitive fight to Marcin Tybura right now. Sergey Spivak is worried about what you're saying. Sergey Spivak hears that and says, "Ooh, God, I gotta watch out for this guy." I mean, Sergey Spivak, not the best example. Maybe Denzel Freeman. You could give a competitive fight to Denzel Freeman. In the state, Muay Thai has like 10 weight classes. I think they have it over in Thailand too. I think they do like the super middleweight kind of thing. I think. I don't know if RWS specifically does, but I know that there are other organizations that do. Being a former football player helps. Certainly worked well for Josh Hokett. All right, Centrell Farmer. Centrell Farmer. Don't be a menace in South Centrell. Two things. One, I started my winter bowling league tonight. Congratulations. Hope you did well. We won every game. Good to hear. Currently 4-0, 35-week league, though. That'll go until May, so lots of bowling left. Well, off to a great start, Wes. Congratulations. Second, I started playing a new game today, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Basically, I'm a poor peasant. Currently, I'm blacksmithing and foraging and whatnot and running errands. Heard it picks up once you get some money, though. Okay, all right, gotcha. Well, cool. I hope that the game is enjoyable to you and that you keep winning at bowling. Did Islam really win? I've been hearing this conversation going around. I mean, look, man, it's one of those things that is, I think, yet another thing. Look, okay. There's a couple of thoughts here. One, this conversation will be framed a little bit differently after my next video comes out, I would say. My next video is not about that, but it does touch on a portion of the conversation. What I say to this is there are two schools of thought. One school of thought is the letter of the law in the unified rules of MMA. Do you go strictly off of damage and have control and submission attempts as a secondary metric? If you do that, then yes, I think that Ian Gary probably has a grounds to say that he won that fight, even though he was slow in those first two rounds. However, because he was slow in those first two rounds and did not do a ton of damage in those rounds, he was coming into rounds 3 through 5 at a disadvantage, I would say. So round 3, you may have a better case for. Round 4, questionable. But I would say Islam took that. Round 5 definitely goes to Ian Gary. So basically what I'm saying is it's like, if you are saying that you want to go strictly off the unified rules evaluation of fights, then there is an argument to be made. However, and this is the key point of it, if you are going to make that argument, you have to be consistent yourself. You cannot then come back later on and say, oh, well, this fight was this thing, but look at the control time that he had in this fight. It's like, you know what I'm saying? You have, like, pick a lane and stick to it. And I'm not saying this to any one specific person here. I'm not directing this at you, Jeremy. I'm just saying in general to this conversation. If you are going to make an argument for one or the other of those, you got to be consistent in your own rationale. That's all I will say about that. Because there is no consistency with the commissions that actually govern the sport. So you have to be the consistent one. And that's bullshit. And that does go directly to my next video, which I cannot wait to release, and I hope you all will watch. No, you're absolutely right. He did not do much damage in that fight. Islam Makhachev did not damage much in that fight, but it's Ian Gary's fault for not being more active throughout the course of it. That's why he sold that fight, in my opinion. In a perfect world where meaningless control time means nothing, Ian Gary won that fight. See, here you go. You're talking right into the same points that I'm saying here. But unfortunately, that is not how the UFC scores fights. It's the commission, not the UFC. They value control time way too much. That's the individual judges who are appointed by the commissions, not the UFC themselves, but the point still remains. So sadly, Islam won rightfully. And this is what I'm trying to say. Consistency. We have no consistency. In mixed martial arts, there is none. No consistency. This is my biggest fucking gripe in the whole of the sport, and it's so applicable to every single fucking aspect. It's applicable to the judging. It's applicable to the refereeing. It's applicable to rule application. Oversight of the sport has zero consistency. So you have to be the one to be consistent yourself because the sport will not do it for you. And I'm sorry to be yelling about mixed martial arts right now during Muay Thai Sunday, but you know how I feel about this. This is a topic that I feel very strongly about. Fight sucked and 50 significant strikes in 50 minutes of combat. It is inexcusable. Title fight. Best in the world, as you were saying. Islam landed 8 significant strikes in the last 3 rounds and had 0 sub attempts. It pains me so much that a guy that is undisputedly the GOAT in the GOAT conversation has such boring fights. Control, brother. Control. How do you score control? You know? Shit, I thought that after the fucking Mario Bautista versus Jose Aldo fight, this was going to be a bigger thing. I thought people were going to be like calling for more consistency. Instead, what was the conversation after that fight? What was the conversation? Fuck Mario Bautista. That was the conversation. Bullshit. That is the fucking community's fault. That is the community's fault for not having the right conversation. They're out here telling Mario Bautista that he's wrong. He might have been wrong, but that's not the conversation. The conversation should be about the application of the fucking rules. Anyway, sorry. All right. Like I said, this is something that's like one of the things that really I feel very strongly about in this sport. Lack of consistency. Every other sport, every other major sport has consistency in their rule sets, except for MMA. I know we're a new sport. I don't care. I don't care how new we are anymore. 35 fucking years in. Fucking figure it out. This is like, I don't understand how, what it takes fucking 40 years, 50 years, 60 years. How many fucking years you need? Oh, Jesus. All right. Did not expect to get this fucking heated. You turn the fucking air down. Sweating over here. All right. Sorry, guys. Hell, he had an entire round with 0 and 1 with 2 significant strikes. But did he sit on top of him? Did he hug him tight against the cage? Also, it goes both ways. Gary fought a shit fight. So, that's really the counter argument, right? He knows it, and I'm sure he'll regret it. If he was more aggressive, he could have easily won that fight. Yeah, I mean, look, I don't often agree with everything that Dana says, but I thought that Dana, I heard Dana's post-fight interview about it. Thought he made a good point. You're coming into round 5 of a title fight against the pound-for-pound best fighter in the world, and you're hugging him and dapping him up and sucking his fucking dick in the middle of the ring. Bro, go out there and fucking take his head off. Go out there and kick his fucking ass. Sitting there taking pictures for half the fucking fight. I mean, like, I don't know. What do you expect when you fight like that? Got dropped as well. You know? You got to know you're down. I don't get why Gary didn't use his footwork. He didn't use his footwork and he barely kicked. He started kicking late in the fight. First 2 rounds, he was a mannequin out there. Yeah, stood flat-footed in front of Islam. I was surprised that Islam didn't take more advantage of that. He could have gotten his own striking off. I felt like Islam was a little timid at his own striking. There's no consistency in MMA. Come on, thinker, be serious for a minute. You see Herb Dean walk into the octagon prepared to ref a fight. You know consistently he's going to be on bullshit. Watch the next video, brother. Please. Wes, if there's any person that I want to watch the next video, please let it be you, okay? With the conversation that you and I have been having in recent streams, multiple different ones at this point now, please promise me you'll watch the new video. Mackenzie did the same thing too, though. So did Charles. Yeah, I mean, sure. Yeah, I mean, look, there's nothing wrong with winning a fight that way if it's the only metric. You know what I'm saying? At least with Charles, Max wasn't able to strike at all. Max was defending the entire fight. Jillian Robertson, almost similar. She had maybe a couple. They're telling Mario Bautista he's wrong. He might have been wrong. But what's wrong? But that's the wrong conversation. It should be about the application of the fucking rules. There you go. That's clip worthy, you think? I don't know. Herb got booed the whole night. Yeah, trust, that was not lost on me. Excited for the next video? Yeah, trust, there's not as much passion in the delivery of the next video, but I think what I say in the next video is, at least in my opinion, very important, and it very directly relates to this conversation. When's it dropping? I'm hoping to have it out by Tuesday. Tuesday is when I'm hoping to get it out. In fact, actually, I should be getting any minute now. I should be getting a notification about getting the draft of it, so I got to keep an eye out for that, actually. Mackenzie was piecing her up on the feet. Yeah, I mean, Mackenzie Dern was just outclassing Jillian Robertson throughout the entirety of that fight. Not exactly the same. Centrell is creative with his striking out there. I know, I'm yelling through this very nice fight here. I've been glancing up and seeing some really good striking from Centrell. Mr. Farmer's out here farming aura. Centrell knocking mouthpieces out. As a firm believer of do everything in your power to win, I would be very hypocritical. It would be very hypocritical of me if I didn't think the same about the control time crotch sniffers. They're taking advantage of the rules. Yeah, but again, it's not they're taking advantage of an inconsistency in the rules. They're not taking advantage of the rules. They're taking advantage of a lack of enforcement. That's the problem. Because two things could happen. Two things could happen to change this conversation. One, the judges actually go by the unified rules as they are written. Two, they could update the unified rules, which it always boggles my mind as to why that is such a big ask. The Association of Boxing Commissions and Combative Sports, the ABC, all they do is get together and vote. Get together and vote. Andy Foster, call them up, round them up. Sound the fucking shofar. Jesus Christ. Hey, Dino Bam Bam is here. What up? This is officially the most handsome chat currently on YouTube. Oh, now that you're here. Oh, got you. Okay. Damn. Just shading all of the other handsome gentlemen in the chat. I don't know. Chat, you going to take that? You going to let Dino Bam Bam just roll up in the place and say that he plants the flag as most handsome man? Disrespectful. I was having a good time watching the pre-show, though, Dino. I was shouting you guys out during the watch-along. It was fun. Yeah, shout out to Mitch, too. It was good to see him on there, man. Yeah, we're gonna get him on the free-for-all at some point. Good guy. I was enjoying listening to his takes, even though he doesn't know how to pronounce anyone's name. I thought that was pretty funny. It was already rumored, but it's nice to see that it's official now. What are we talking about? Oh, that Dino Bam Bam is the most handsome. Got you. I don't know who was rumoring that. I have class tomorrow, and they told me to bring a hard hat. Ooh, too frugal to buy a true hard hat, so I'm showing up with a Delta baseball cap that has a built-in hard hat. Oh, they're going to send you home, brother. They're going to send you home. I'm ready for them to say, hey, where's your hard hat? And I'm going to go, hi, and smack my head really hard. Yeah, they're going to laugh at that, and then they're going to send your ass home. 17 is here, indeed. And we are lucky for that. It has a legit hard hat built in. That is what the Delta mechanics wear when they work on planes. Oh, okay. All right. Fair enough then. But there might be some kind of legalities with that. You got to be careful with that because when it comes to like safety equipment, they might have like some union rules and that kind of stuff. Trust. I remember that very, very well from my days in live entertainment. Oh, low kick. Taking the legs out. Central Farmer over here. Crops are growing left and right. Mitch is funny and you like his takes. Yeah, seems like a good dude. That's the first time I've ever heard him like in a conversational mode. I'd only heard him in his videos where he's a little bit more, kind of complainy, which it's what I do. So I'm not, I'm not complaining about him being, one of those dudes that's critical of things. But it was nice to just hear him kind of speak at length. Seems like a good dude, though. I like the guy. I asked some of my coworkers, and they said most people don't even show up with a hard hat for the first class, so hopefully this will be fine. Gotcha. Okay, good deal, bro. Good deal. As long as you don't get sent home, because got to make that money, brother. The fuck we doing out here? We ain't here for fun. We here for cash. Did you check in on Chase? He was going through it hard last night. I have to, bro. You're right. I gotta send him a message, man. I should have done it last night. You're right. Damn it. Bad friend. I'll do that right now. Yeah, you're right. I should have done that yesterday. I mean, I checked in on his chat. I sent him a message in chat, but... All right, there you go. Message sent. Hope his internet or whatever is better today. Dude, he needs to, it's not his fault, of course, but there has to be a fucking fix for whatever this problem is that he has. I know, living where I live in Florida, we have internet problems all the time. I have never known a person who has internet problems like he does. What the fuck? That was what happened at the end of that fight? That was weird. Odd ending to that fight. This dude Hicham Belich, excuse me. Hicham Belich was over here kind of emoting and being weird, and our dude Farmer is not having it. He's an American. He don't play this shit. You gotta get the drop queued up. Haven't heard your thoughts on last night. Islam, Gary, and Dean Thomas takes, please. Yeah, we talked about it a little bit before you got here. Dean Thomas, I thought very unbecoming of a coach, and I can completely understand the criticism that he's getting. Islam and Gary, I'm happy for Islam that he broke the record. I did think that he won the fight, but I thought that it was not the most entertaining fight that I've ever seen. I thought the co-main and the main were a little bit weak as far as entertainment value goes, but I think they were both judged correctly. And for the rest of the takes, you'll have to listen to the podcast tomorrow. But if you want to hear the rant that I just went on about rules and consistency and the application thereof, just rewind the VOD about 5 minutes to 10 minutes. What happened with Chase? Just internet problems, bro. His stream was his live stream was working, but I guess Paramount wasn't working for him at some point. It was like Paramount wasn't coming in correctly or something. He just always has internet problems. And I mean, I've had my fair share too, so I'm certainly not, I'm not trying to hate on him, but it's like he tries and tries to fix these problems, and for some reason they just never end up getting fixed. All right, Central Farmer over here. 30-27, 30-27. Oh, 2 30-26s and a 29-27. America, fuck yeah! What a salesman. Hey, brother. ABC, baby, always be closing. Speaking of which, suck my balls and buy things from me. Yamashow.com. All right, Pet Senshai is fighting. He's a name we know. Yeah, hopefully all of Chase's internet problems will be sorted out by tomorrow. Of course, we will be live for the podcast tomorrow at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And on Tuesday, we will be live for both the Contender Series and the Ultimate Fighter. All right, so we are coming to the end of the first portion of the stream tonight. Part number 1 of this 2-part VOD watch is coming to an end here. I guess it looks like they did end up cutting out some of the downtime, which is awesome. This is really, really good for us. My last 2 interviews had awful connection issues. Not on my end, though, thankfully. Oh, yeah, I saw that you have an interview out with Taco Pad. Yo, everybody check out 10-7's interview with Chris Padilla. I haven't seen it yet, but I definitely am going to. I'm a big fan, man. Chris Padilla, I think he is a dude who I think is super underrated. I like Chris Padilla a lot. I'm a big fan of his, man. He's got great fight IQ, and I think he got completely fucked over in that last bullshit thing that happened to him with that decision that got reversed. Not reversed, but overturned to a draw or whatever. But yeah, shout out to him, and shout out to you for getting him on the show, man. That's awesome. All right, so that is the end of the first portion. So we are going to start up with portion number 2 here. If you go to the description of this live stream that I am on currently, go to the description. There is a second link. That second link will take you to a VOD that is 2 hours and 27 minutes long. You're going to go to that, and you're going to start it up from the very beginning, and I'm going to count you down, and we're going to get this thing going. We're not taking too long for this, so if you want to keep going, I'll even restart the timer for you for part number 2 here. So we're coming into part number 2. So get yourself clicked, get yourself ready for this. I'll give you a little minute to get yourself all set up here. Thank you. The first 5 or so minutes are tough, but it gets good afterwards. Audio is inconsistent. Please bear with if you watch. Did you put a little disclaimer before that in the video? I would recommend doing that for your videos if that happens, just to give a little disclaimer like, hey, it's going to be a little tough for these couple minutes, but it gets better afterwards. That hopefully will keep people watching. You can do it like, the old school after school special, be like, hi, friends. In this interview that I'm about to do, our audio connection, not so great for the first 5 minutes. If you bear with, afterwards, it's going to get a whole lot better. That said, enjoy the interview. Or you can just clip that. Not in the video, but it's pinned. All right, I would put it in the video itself. People don't always read the comments or the description. But you better read the description right now to get yourself ready, because we are getting this thing going here, people. All right. If you are ready, I am ready. So we are at 000 of the 2 hour and 27 minute, 25 second VOD. And we are starting this thing up. RWS Part 2 is starting in 3, in 2, in 1. Muay Thai. And there is your timer again. So part 2, we're still watching the highlights here, but hopefully that's going to be over soon. Looks like we have like maybe a minute or 2. Yeah. All right. Give us a little more second here. Can you add my little monologue? Absolutely. As long as you're giving me a credit, just make sure that you spell Yama right. That's all I ask for. Man, imagine being a dude named Big Ice and you get head kicked by a Ward Kazimba. Is it actually possible to add a piece to the vid? I don't think so after the fact. I don't think you can do it afterwards. I think you can take pieces away, but I don't think you can add, unfortunately. You'd have to re-upload it. Woo! A little corkscrew flips over here for a Ward Kazimba look cool. What happened to a Ward Kazimba? We haven't seen him fight in a while. Oh, actually, I think we might have. Never mind. I think we did see him fight somewhat recently. Jeez. Crescent kick to the side of the fucking head. Oh, no, it was a spinning wheel kick. Always game to entertain. Finish him with a body shot. Hell yeah. I love these highlights. Hopefully we're going to get some more. We have not seen a beanbag yet tonight. I am aching for a beanbag. I did put a crude technical difficulties thing on the beginning portion where it sucks very 2008. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm sure it's fine, man. I'm not trying to tell you how to run your channel or anything. I'm just saying that I know how, I know how people sometimes are. And, we both are in this content space. You know how tough it is to hook people, man. Like, getting people to just fucking pay attention for 5 seconds is like, that's why when like, sometimes Carlos is like sending over clips that are like 12 seconds long. And I'm like, cool. Before I used to be like, man, a 12-second clip, bro. I'd get like a minute's worth of content. No, fuck it, dude. 12 seconds? Fine. They'll watch the entirety of it. 100% watch rate. The 10-7 interview is my top suggested video after this one. YouTube is listening. Let's fucking go, dude. We grow together. That is what the Blood Palm is all about. And you know what I like about it too? Not to get too mushy about it, but I do feel, with rare exception perhaps, but I do feel that the extended Blood Palm relationships that we have built, 10-7, a couple other people that I could probably name in there, I feel like we are kind of in like what I would say like the light side of MMA YouTube. I'm not trying to make it like an us versus them thing, but you know the type of content that I'm talking about from some other sides of this thing, But it's like, you see the people that 10-7 has on their show, I Might Be Wrong, Money Mitch, No Bromo, like these are all guys who are like good dudes generally, you know what I mean? So it's like, I like to support that, and I feel like that's what you want to grow as opposed to some of the more, rage baity kind of elements of the community. But again, I'm really not trying to start shit or talk shit about any of those other creators. I'm just saying like, that's what I gravitate towards personally. Your heel turn is going to shock me. Bring it on, brother. I am so ready to burn this bridge. All of what I just said, pair that with the fact that if the bridge needs to be burned, oh, let me light the gasoline, baby. Friends turned rivals. It'll be the greatest storyline in light MMA YouTube. Y'all hear what happened between Yama and 10-7? Damn, bro. They used to be boys. It writes itself. Heel turn comes after the pump and dump. For real, bro. That's, that'll exactly be it too. Because I said I was all in on it and I want my 3%. After the fact, shit, dude, I don't know anything about that shit. 10-7 was on some shit with that one, dude. I don't even know. All of my old VODs where we talked about it mysteriously disappear. Dino Bam Bam comes on. He's like, I got the receipts. Thinker St. James is lying. He supported my underhanded dealings. He should go down with this ship. Some guy threatened to unalive my mom on what? On IG because we went 10-3 on a brutal card. MMA community sucks. Dude, you got to tune that shit out, dude. That's like an instant block, no conversation had kind of shit right there, dude. That's foul, bro. Bamcoin mentioned, dude, I can't wait. I can't wait to get my money and forget that I ever heard anything about it. Thinker goes full Artem Lobov, bro. How did Artem do in that? How did Artem Lobov make out in that situation? How did Artem Lobov do? Did Artem Lobov end up with a whole bunch of Connor's money? Just saying. Hey, chill out. I'm ready for my cut. Sanjay and Carlos corner you in a hotel. No. Damn. That'd be the weirdest cornering of all time right there. I don't know. Carlos, how tall are you? I don't know how big Carlos is. Sanjay's big, though. That's a big dude. That is a good point, Bleeding Edge. That is a good point. I don't understand how that matters, though. I don't understand how that matters. If I tell you, Bleeding Edge, here's the idea, okay? I want you to start the greatest electric scooter company ever to exist. Now, if you start that, if you actually did that now, if you said, damn, Thinker, that's a great idea, and you went and did that, am I now entitled to any of that? Why is there any entitlement? I don't understand. Bro, you should start a liquor company. Sure, I'll do it. I go and do it, now all of a sudden it was like you have some claim to that? What the fuck? You're not that big. You're only 100. I thought you were taller than that. How tall are you, Sanjay? You see, it doesn't matter. I mean, I would say it doesn't matter. I don't know. I mean, like, I don't understand how it's like you tell somebody that they should do something and they do it, and then all of a sudden it's like, yeah, that should go to me. What? I'm the one that did it. Oh, 5'10"? Okay. All right. That's not the worst cornering then. Fair enough. All right. 5'10", 170. Combat sports trained, though. There's an element of danger to that. I still don't want to be in the position, though. I'll keep it where it is, you know? I don't want to go down that road. I want to stay on Sanjay's good side. I do not want to be in the Texas necktie. Or the Peruvian. If I cornered you in a hotel, it's probably me trying to sell you black market burgers out of my coat. Those are some tasty burgers. Your breath always smells like garlic. All right. Well, then, you know what? Let's keep it casual then. Let's keep it friendly. I'll try a burger. Just don't get too close.
I can't let you get close.
All right, fine. That actually was a much nicer break. So this has actually worked out really well with RWS tonight. If they want to do this all the time where they break up the streams, I am all for it. Because we had a nice little 10-minute break there. That is perfectly acceptable. And now we're right back to main card. So good deal. I like this. We got about 2 hours and 10 minutes worth of fights coming up. Good deal. Had some baba ganoush tonight. Crazy garlicky. I don't like things that are like super garlicky. I know that some people are like garlic fanatics. I'm not that way. I like a little bit of garlic. I like a kind of a sheen of garlic, you could say. What I really enjoy is putting a little bit of like diced garlic into something, but not a ton of it, just so you get that little pop of it. And I sometimes do like actual straight garlic, but it's very specific on what dishes it is. But I am certainly not one of those people that just like will eat raw garlic or like, love a crazy amount of it or whatever. Especially not as a kid. As I've gotten a little bit older, I've gotten more into it. But as a kid, I hated garlic, bro. Plain rolls. Plain rolls St. James, they used to call me. Every time we're at the Italian restaurant, can we do plain rolls? We're not really into the garlic rolls. I didn't know that they broadcasted RWS on Facebook as well. I guess that makes sense because a lot of those countries in Asia like use Facebook like it's the entire internet. That's a real thing, by the way. I don't know if you know that, but like there are certain countries. I think Myanmar is actually one of them, where it's like basically Facebook is like interchangeable with internet over there. Like if you say I'm going on the internet, in Myanmar, I think it's Myanmar, I'm pretty sure, but like in a couple of those countries in like South and Central Asia, if you say that you're going on the internet, you're basically saying I'm going on Facebook. Am I the only one who hears the two guys from MXC when I read Baba Ganoush? I don't know the reference, but I do know the show. I never got to watch it very much. By the time that they started airing it on G4, I was already kind of on to, like other things. But shout out to MXC though. They actually air MXC on YouTube on like a live channel, like 24/7. There's like a 24/7 channel that just plays replays of that. You were thinking Zohan? Hell yeah. You don't mess with the Zohan. We having like a sync issue with the audio? It looks like it. Yeah, it looks like they're having a little bit of a sync issue. Maybe they're having broadcast problems with this one. Yeah, there's a little inconsistency with the audio here. Oh, we only have... I think we had a fight drop out. Yeah, it looks like Savas Michael and Joaquim Orachi dropped off the card. Damn. We got 4 fights in a 2.5 hour fucking stream? Jesus Christ. It's like we're right back at Lux. Is this card decent? I didn't turn it on for a second. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know a lot of these fighters. These are not ones that I've seen before, so we're hoping for the best there, Wes. All I know, though, is that we've got fucking 4 fights left on a 2.5 hour stream, so it's going to be a little bit of a downtime for us to chit-chat, so feel free to AMA, ask me anything. We can turn it into an AMA. Ask me questions, I got answers to your questions. Ask me advice, I sometimes give good advice. I've heard that. I love MXC YouTube channel. Nice, dude. I got to watch that actually. Maybe I'll turn that on at some point and just leave it on and kind of check it out. I'm a huge fan of Mystery Science Theater and overdubs and stuff like that. I actually used to do overdubs on my second channel back in the day. I should post one of those in the Discord. I was pretty proud of those. Those were pretty funny. There's an overdub clip in the Haddock pilot, the Haddock News pilot. That was all written by me. I've been too busy being a medieval peasant. Fair enough, brother. Hope you're enjoying. Is that 2 weeks or 3 weeks in a row we've had a fight drop off? Did we have a fight drop off last week? Well, we were watching Thai Fight last week. I don't remember if we had a fight drop off on Thai Fight. We might have. Actually, yes, we did have a fight drop off on Thai Fight. Yes, I remember that now. Yeah, we were saying, oh, there's more fights on the poster than on the card itself. Yeah, good memory, Sanjay. Is a 401k or a Roth IRA more beneficial as a 24-year-old? Depends on how long you're willing to sit on your money. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. 401k, you have a little bit more flexibility. Roth IRA is going to be more stable, but you're going to have to wait a long time for it. Yeah, see, Sanjay knows what he's talking about there. Roth IRA you cannot touch until you're 55, but it's tax-free. So yeah, I mean, it really depends on what your strategy is. Are you looking to make a little bit of money quicker, but it's a little bit more volatile? But you can you can theoretically at least touch it a little earlier. Most people are doing that, but the smarter thing to do is probably the Roth IRA. That's one of the safest investments you can make. You do both. I mean, doing both is, if you have the money to do it and you're seriously investing as opposed to, like thinking about putting money aside, but you want to touching it later, kind of thing. Like, it really depends on what your goal is. But if your goal is long-term investment for like setting yourself up for retirement kind of thing, having both is definitely good. And I would really try to over time figure out what the right ratio of investment is. So you have basically like take your paycheck, see how much you are able to put away for investment, and then divide that according to where, what your goals are. That's the basic idea. I'm still not over the Edson Barbosa retirement, man. It's so sad. I know, brother. I know. Sport moves on, man. This is also why I not only do I always try to be very cognizant and respectful and thankful for the legends that we've had in the past. Ooh, speaking of legends, the very, very beautiful Marie Rumet is in the building, by the way. Our Estonian queen. And geez, is she a smoke show outside of competition and in competition, but letting her hair down. Sorry, got sidetracked for a second when Marie Rumet is on screen. Yeah, what I was saying, is that like I always do try to be as respectful of the greats of the sport as I can be. But also, this is why I pay so close attention to the Contender Series and to Tough and to all of the Apex cards that people are, oh, this card's not important, doesn't matter. They all matter because the people who you are watching on those cards are potentially the next stars of the future. So, but yes, Edson Barbosa is a legend. Hall of Famer for sure. Start your 401k. It can save your ass in an extremely shitty situation. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, like I would do both if you have the ability to, but 401k is going to be good for multi-use purposes, and Roth IRA is going to give you a better yield over a much longer amount of time. That basically Roth IRA is like throw money into it and just don't think about it again. Just that money is gone. That's how I would look at it. Does Edson get Hall of Fame next year? I don't know if he'll get it next year because sometimes they wait like longer for that. I don't know how they make that distinction sometimes because like it's weird. Like when people retire, like it takes a while sometimes before they put them on the ballot for the Hall of Fame, even if they are worthy of it, like immediately after retirement. But if it's not next year, I would say within the next probably 5 years. Yes, I would say so. I mean, and he will be in the Hall of Fame. Absolutely. I would like to know how they decide that, actually. That's something that I do find kind of interesting. Is there like a committee that votes on that or something like that, You're welcome, Wes. Appreciate you, brother. Smart man thinking about investing at 24 years old, brother. You're setting yourself up for success with that. All right, we're getting into main card. Which achievement do we think gets him in the Hall of Fame? Is it for the wheel kick over Terry Edom? I don't think that they have a specific finishes division of the Hall of Fame, right? I think it's like a Pioneers wing, it's Hall of Fame fights, and then it's Hall of Fame fighters, if I'm not mistaken, right? I think he just gets in as a Hall of Fame fighter, I believe. I don't think that they give it to him for a specific achievement, I would suspect, but I'm not. Am I wrong about that? I'm pretty sure that that's how it works, right? Correct me if I'm wrong on that. But I think that's what it is. I think that it's Pioneer Wing, it's Modern Era Wing, and he would probably, I don't know though. Would he be in Pioneer Wing? Can't be in Pioneer Wing. I mean, geez. I mean, he's been around for a long time, but not that long. But I think it's only fighters and fights. I don't think that they break it down. Oh, do they have a performance wing? Okay, fair enough then. Fair enough. Okay, I did not know that. If they have a performance wing, then fair. Then yeah, then maybe for that. Because that is one of the most iconic knockouts in all of the sport. I mean, that was when I was first starting to watch the sport, that clip was like the knockout. Like that was the one that like it was like viral before like the current version of viral videos. Like it was on every broadcast as like a highlight. Like that you could not escape the Terry Edom knockout, Poor Terry Edom, God, being on the wrong end of that one. He really he really did make it what it was inadvertently. I think the UFC decides mostly like Dana, yeah, probably. I like this guy. Put him in the Hall of Fame. Thanks, man. I was a couple years late to getting a real job, unlike my friends, so they had already invested. But while I was working those bullshit jobs making such low money, I didn't even bother. Nah, you got to do what you got to do at the early stages, brother. And dude, you're still way young, bro. You're doing just fine. All right, round one. We've got Singburi versus Pet Sanchai. Pet Sanchai in the blue, Singburi in the red. We've seen Pet Sanchai before, so I'm rooting for him. Now that I'm starting to make some actual money, might as well throw it in there instead of just letting it sit in my bank account. Exactly, brother. Make that money work for you, bro. You will thank yourself in fucking spades when you are older. That and the KO over Benil Dariush, man, those are not are the knockouts for me. Hell yeah, dude. He's a legend, man. He is an absolute legend of the sport. That's the kind of thing that, like, you know, I understand where Chase is coming from, and I'm not trying to ever dogpile on my boy. You know, Chase is one of my best friends on the planet, but it's one of those things that those are the kinds of like instances where I'm like, Chase, you got to know, because he'd be like, well, I wasn't here for it. Bro, it doesn't matter if you weren't here for it, brother. It happened. You got to acknowledge. Do a little bit of research, my guy. Go into the history books, because those are the knockouts, you know, like those kinds of knockouts. Not only just our dude Edson Barbosa, but, you know, I mean, just like all of the classics, the Showtime kick, you know, I mean, like that stuff like that. Like, you got to know. Like, it's just because you weren't there for it doesn't mean that you shouldn't know about it. And that's what the Hall of Fame is for. I wish I could have saved more. In fact, I need to set up my 401k with my job as they match a certain amount. Definitely, Sanjay. Please do. It's going to serve you well over there in Thailand or India, wherever you decide. You got to educate yourself on the historic moments of the sport. I would say so. I mean, for your own benefit, even. I mean, shit, dude, they're fucking iconic, you know? That's why I really got to drag my fucking lazy ass back to the gym. After this goddamn project is over, I will absolutely be working out again. But like, I can't wait to get back in the gym, because as you might know, when I do my cardio, when I'm in the gym, that's what I do, is I watch classic fights. I got to go through all the Pride. I want to go through WEC. You know, I try to catch up on as much history of the sport as I can. I mean, just again, not even just to be like the best version of Yama, but just because I fucking enjoy it. It's fucking iconic classic moments. Oof, nice body shot there for Singburi. A little bit of a slow start to this round, or this fight rather. Round one, not super crazy action, but they're touching. Singburi looking pretty good. I think Singburi took round one. Very tactical. Yeah, it was a close round. What? Pet Sanchai? I mean, I want him to win, so I'll be all right if he takes the round, but I thought Singburi might have had that. What say you, chat? Who won that round? Can't believe I forgot we've got Contender Series on Tuesday, brother. I mean, you get a pass for week one, because week one was a little bit weak in general, but Tuesday, my dude, you gotta do it. You gotta be there, my guy. You missed our zesty fake Indonesian. I'm being a little harsh on that guy, but he I don't know. He gives me Michael Chandler vibes. That Indonesian guy, Bilal Hassan. You can watch all those old fights and events on Fight Pass. Yes, you can. Exactly. And now that I have Fight Pass, I have no excuse. I was watching a lot of stuff on YouTube before, just wherever I could find it. Now I could be watching full events. Lubin. Hello, Lubin. You'll be here Tuesday? Hell yeah, brother. Can't wait to see you. You watch the fights? Yeah. I mean, like I said, I thought that it was a little bit of a weak week, and I'm very harsh on the Contender Series. I'm like DC when it comes to the Contender Series, man. Like, you got to really show the fuck out. Like, I want to see you going for fucking broke on the Contender Series. So I probably would have maybe not given out as many contracts. I think 2 of those contracts might have been unnecessary, but Dana was feeling a little bit generous. God damn it, I have not rewatched Fiziev versus Gaethje 1. Fuck! Got to do that. Oh my God. I want to write that down. Keep saying it. Thank you for reminding me. I appreciate you keeping me honest about that because I have not done that yet. Fiziev. Oh! Singh Baree gets the draw. That didn't seem like a drop. Yeah, that was a slip. See, commentary saying the same thing. All right, Singh Baree gets a drop, even though I don't think he earned it. But still doing good work. Off to a good start. Singh Baree trying to win this round. Fiziev versus Gaethje 1. All right, it is on. It is on the piece of paper here. Yeah, they're turning up now. Singh Baree not happy about round 1. He says, I want to win this fight. I love to see it. Requested work off for the PFL Ryzen Showdown? When is that? Oh, I think we were talking about that. When is that? So excited to see Razabali Shadalayev absolutely decimate AJ McKee. Shadalayev was on the New Year's Matsuri, wasn't he? I think I saw him fight. He got a great win there, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, Petsanchai trying to come back in this fight. How much they make to show for Contender Series? 7.5? That sounds about right. That sounds about right. That might be. I honestly don't know the exact answer for that, but 7.5 does sound correct. That's worse than the regional scene main events. Bro, did you see the clip that I posted in the Discord of a bunch of the Killcliff guys talking about how much they were paid for their first pro fight? It is abysmal. 200 to show, 200 to win, and a $100 win bonus. We're making $500 total. September 12th or 10th. Okay, keep me posted on that one. Remind me. Ooh, nice tag by Singh Baree. I think Singh Baree is looking really good in this fight. Oof, man, they're going now. But yeah, Petsanchai not going out easily here. Basing that on a Sean O'Malley TikTok where he said he won 15 from Contender Series, if I'm remembering correctly. Do they get the win bonus? Do they get the finish bonus in Contender Series? I would venture to say no, right? That's a great question. You know, they get the finish bonus now in the organization, but I don't think that extends to the Contender Series. 18-0, all finishes. Fuck yeah, dude. And you get double for a finish or something like that? Oh, okay. That might be what it is. I thought the bonus had to be a finish, not a win. No. I think it's show and win money. I'm fairly certain anyway. No finish bonus, but Sean was on Contender Series before they did that in the promotion period. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that only started this year. That started with the Paramount era, which is a step in the right direction, I certainly admit, but just raise the baseline pay. I don't know why this is such a fucking an issue for an organization that has as much money as they do. But if they don't have to, they're not going to. That's business 101. So yeah, Pet Senshai down these 2 rounds, huh? Also, let the fighters make money from their own sponsors. Yeah, exactly. Another, bro. I've already done enough yelling tonight. I can't go into the whole fighter pay yelling. But yeah, absolutely. Shit that has nothing to do with the organization and costs them absolutely nothing. And when I say cost, I don't just mean monetarily. It does not cost them any exposure. It does not cost them anything from their own sponsors. Nothing would change for the organization if fighters were able to have their own sponsors. Oh, well, they can do fucking deals with other sponsors, just not in the cage. Let them have them in the fucking cage if you're paying them dog shit money while they're making you billions. Lack of respect for the athletes in MMA is just atrocious. Ice tape. Damn. Pet Senshai still really trying to win this fight, even though it is not looking like he's going to be able to. Sing Bree looking really good in this fight. Nice teeps from Pet Senshai. Yeah, Sing Bree going for it, man. He's putting some good power on his shots. Bam. I think the fighters should be paid less at the beginning of my heel turn. Tell that to the next fighter that you have doing an interview. See how they think about that, see what they say. Bro, I know you don't get paid a lot, but think about this. What if you got paid less than you already make? Huh? You do the I offer meme. You give me interview, I offer you less pay from your day job. I'm seeing online that Barbosa pre-2021 was only on 75 and 75. That's criminal. That is MMA to a T, brother. Yeah, because he didn't command a cult of personality. You got to be a dude putting asses in seats. It's more than just how you fight. I bet you that Leon Edwards still never made a crazy amount of money compared to other fighters, even as a champion. He might have been getting some kind of points on the back end for pay-per-view since he was still in the pay-per-view era. But his base salary, 175 maybe, 200 maybe, compared to the fucking, 575 that a Sean O'Malley non-title would make. Honestly, the fighters should even be grateful they're getting money at all. If I was Dana White, I would just let him be in a Nelk Boys video if they let him be in a Nelk Boys video if they win. Don't you guys want the exposure? Exactly. You'll take dog shit and you will like it. Now dance in the Nelk Boy video. Shouldn't meet your wife in Miami, bro. Okay, thank you. You're going to pay me, right? Is it getting better with more promotions starting up and keeping their foothold? It kind of remains to be seen as far as the United States goes. But in a broad sense, I would say it's mixed. A lot of these promotions don't disclose a crazy amount of information on it, but at a time, PFL was probably paying pretty well. I think that Ketlin Vieira did say that she's making more in the PFL than she made in the UFC. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with MVP because Jake Paul has been pretty vocal about fighter pay in the past, so we're going to have to see if he actually backs up all this talk that he has. Karate Combat probably paid decently when they actually paid, but allegedly have not been actually paying out their fighters, so who knows? Other than that, One Championship has their own allegations when it comes to payouts. That's not United States, but U.S. fighters complaining of that. So, mixed bag, basically. These guys just don't want to fight, right? Exactly.
Shut the fuck up and watch the fights.
Shut the fuck up and be in the Nelk Boys video. You're telling me the dude throwing at least 3 guaranteed spinning kicks every fight didn't fill seats? I mean, bro, for me, yes. You know what I'm saying? For me, it's not a question. But I could almost guarantee you that, like, Dana would say, even with the highlight, because he didn't speak English. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't agree with it. I'm just telling you what I think that their rationale probably is. Be serious. How can you expect Dana White to give these guys their fair share of money whenever it's Steiny's birthday, he needs $2 million. Exactly. There is a Nelk boy in need. I have to give cartoonish suitcases of dollar bills to a Nelk boy. I think Dana did a gambling session with one of the Nelk. Of course he did. Make content. Oh, shit. 28-28. Damn. We have a draw between Pet Senchai and Singbury. All right. Well, it was a good fight. Kyle needs gambling money. You know way more about the Nelk boys than I do. I couldn't name a single one of them. PFL is not doing well financially. That Saudi money has ran dry from what I understand, you know? Riyadh season has come to a close. All that Saudi Arabian tourism money is not flowing like it once was. In fact, I think that's probably why Don Davis had to step down. Money stopped coming in. It's like, we got to make a fucking change around here, bro. Ran through all that money, still nothing to show for it. Jake does shell out money. I hope so. I hope he does it for MMA. PFL stinks. Wasn't it just you who was telling me that the PFL had like the best card you'd ever seen recently? Coming into my CFFC watch along telling me about a different promotion? I'm glad it was good. The PFL, we just watched PFL recently and it was okay. And that is being generous. Dakota Ditcheva point fighting her way to a decision win. Dana should start threatening kick collabs for fighters who are boring. Look, kid, if you don't go out there and fight and make it entertaining, I'm going to put you in there with Roger Jackson. I'm surprised Dana does not ask for a percentage of fighters doing OF. Bro, could you fucking imagine? Could you fucking imagine? As if he wasn't enough of a pimp already. It was a good card. They still stink. I'm holding out hope for MVP. I actually am. I mean, legitimately. I'm not even memeing. I actually am holding out hope. Look, I cannot wait to be the dude who has to say, I was a sucker. I am holding out hope that Jake Paul is actually about his shit when it comes to fighter pay. But I will be the very first person to line up to say, I was a fucking idiot for having that hope. Move your body, baby. It's the RWS Dance Cam song. I cannot wait to go to RWS and hear this song live. That fight sucked, kid. You're streaming with Neon on Thursday. That fight sucked, kid. You want to hang with an Indian. No, Dana, I don't. Oh, yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. You're going to listen to the song. You're going to sing along to the song. I don't give a fuck. I like the song. I like Neon's song. I'm a fan. Hey kid, no finishing the last fight. You're going fishing with the No Boys Tuesday. Exactly. Can I at least stream with Curtis Blades? Nope. Sorry. Yeah, you have to sit ringside while Bobby Green gets beat up by boxers. Manny Pac-Man did some collabs with Neon. Never heard of the guy before. Pac-Man Pacquiao? Manny Pacquiao? That's cool, I guess. I mean, look, those streamers are like, they're fucking having the president on and shit. You know, I mean, like they're mainstream entertainment at this point. You're not putting asses in seats, kids. The pre-show live next Saturday with Bam Bam. You fucking wish. Yeah, Manny Pacquiao. Yeah, like I mean, I'm not surprised, dude. Like I said, you know, it's mainstream entertainment at this point. You want to hang with it? I'm telling you, dude. I like the song. She wanna get with an Indian. Shit goes. I like the beat. It's catchy. I played it on stream before the Bilal Hassan fight because he was fighting the Indian guy. Indian guy got brutally finished. Bilal Hassan is the definition of we need to see him up against better competition, you know? Sad to say, of course. I got all the love in the world for my Indian competitors, and I can't wait for India to be a more formidable presence in MMA. But Bilal Hassan getting a 45-second knockout against that dude, we really didn't see much, you know? I'm sitting there wondering how in the world I booked Dean Thomas. Yo, for real. That actually might happen. Dean Thomas Apology Tour 2026 incoming. Bro, way to torpedo your reputation. I mean, shit. Obviously, people like CTE already didn't like him. But man, yeah, he is not a very well-liked guy at the moment. What happened with Dean? Dean Thomas went on the post-show basically saying, because Jillian Robertson did not win her fight, he is no longer cornering fighters. And basically that's her ceiling is essentially what he said. He's like, he said, I thought about this for a while. I said, I'm going to take her as far as she can go. That looked like it's about as far as she can go. I'm no longer cornering fighters. And Chris Weidman said, are you sure? Maybe you don't want to think about this? Maybe not talk about this on camera right now? And Dean was like, no, I've already thought about it. I'm sticking with my decision. Not cornering fighters anymore. Thanks, Jillian Robertson, for everything. And people, rightly so, are a little bit peeved at old Mr. Thomas. And you still don't like him, exactly. And this is still not your boy. All right, next fight coming up. Yothin versus Farang. Or Firang. Oh, that's not tonight. That's next week. I mean, I get it, but to do it live on the post show as a UFC employee, yeah, I mean, yeah, to do that. Oh, Angel Bowser's fighting again, by the way, people. Angel Bowser's dope. Yeah, to do it on the post show and like not to speak with your fighter privately, and really basically to like put that ceiling on her as a coach. I mean, what a way to like disrespect your fighter. I mean, granted, she did not fight well. I think everybody can acknowledge that. Yeah, and Chris said you're pulling a Matt Serra. Exactly. Yeah, he did say that. He'll never be my boy. He'll never be my boy. Exactly. Something you do in the gym in private. Or you don't say anything. I mean, Jesus Christ, no one forced you to be on the post show. Or if you had to go on the post show as an employee of the UFC, talk about anything else. Damn, hard loss. You know, Jillian's a great girl. She's a great fighter. It was not her night. She had an off night. It's a, big step up in competition, fighting for a championship. She'll come back better next time. That's all you had to say. You can say it, not me. I'm not going that far, but I certainly think it was a very poor lack of judgment on Dean's part to say that kind of thing. It was insanely disrespectful to Jillian Robertson for sure. Curious if people will start leaving his gym and go elsewhere. I mean, it certainly is a real possibility. I mean, shit. I would think that's a good point, Sanjay. I mean, I would think that that's a signal to every other fighter in that gym. Like, bro, I mean, should I be fighting with this guy? I mean, like, you know, if I lose a fight, am I going to lose a coach? If I don't fight to my fullest potential, is my coach going to shit talk me in public? The 10-7 MMA with Dino, and Dean. I mean, if at your own risk, brother, you might lose subscribers. It'd be a bold move on your part to be taking Dean on the broadcast right now. He is a little bit persona non grata, I would say. He'd give up on you after one bad show. I mean, that also a possibility. He would do an emergency broadcast with Chris Weidman and be like, well, you know, I think I took the 10-7 MMA as far as they can go. I think that was the ceiling for these guys. I am done being a guest on shows. I don't know. It might be worth reaching out to him though. 10-7. I mean, you might get the opportunity to be like, yo, if you want to explain yourself somewhere, bring you on the show. You can certainly say your piece. I'll ask you the questions. I'll certainly ask the questions that the community has. I think DS is limited and Bam is awful. Exactly. About as good as his cornering during that fight. I remember we were talking about that. His cornering basically amounted to don't give up on yourself and try harder. What are you doing? He'll be like in WWE when your manager goes to the other corner and sabotages you. Exactly, dude. Seriously. Heel turn Thomas. And like I said earlier in this stream, I mean, Dean had already been kind of on his heel arc. I brought up the fact that unprompted, after Sean Strickland's fight with Dricus du Plessis, he went on Ariel Helwani and was shit-talking Sean Strickland unprompted, unprovoked. He's Paul Heyman. He wishes he could talk as well as Paul Heyman, one of the best talkers in the biz. You know? That's the addendum to what Chael said. The only people making money with their mouths is Tito's ex-wife and Paul Heyman. Entirely different reasons, I'm sure. Paul Heyman is so good at talking that he does all the talking for fighters who are not good at talking. Fighters, wrestlers. They are not fighters. All right. Exactly. Paul Heyman, what that mouth do. All right. Kunsuklek. Oh, we know Kunsuklek too. The little warlord. I think we saw him get a win in his last fight, I believe. Dean literally gave zero beneficial technical advice. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, his cornering was not great. Because I think he was frustrated. You know? I said it during the watch along. He looked dejected. I think they said it on commentary too. I think John Anik said that. All right. Payman Zolfagari. Pyman. He's from Iran. Oh, R.I.P. Zulfagari. He's a former Iranian Muay Thai champion. Let's see if he can buck the trend. We have an Iranian. Yes, I certainly do know what that means. Oh. He's got a size advantage. Let's see what he can do here. Oof. Couple good shots to start for Zulfagari. Maybe it's a good thing for her if he performs poorly and comes out and says that makes me wonder how much he puts into actually preparing for his fights. I mean, in the big picture, it might be a good thing for her, but in the moment, it's, adding insult to injury and completely unnecessary. But yeah, I mean, in the big picture, it's like, what a good friend of mine, close business associate and longtime friend, often says, if you're going to stab me in the back, do it as soon as possible. So, in that respect, he waited too long to show his true colors. But better late than never. And if it's going to be like that, then yeah, I mean, it's certainly a signal that, she goes somewhere else, she gets a better team behind her, more encouragement. Maybe it's different for her next time. See if she can put together another win streak. I mean, it's women's MMA. There's always a shot she can get another chance at the belt. Ooh, nice body shot for Paimon. Nice land for Kunsuklek. Another nice one. Redness already forming on Zulfagari's body. Another nice connection there for Kunsuklek. How awkward will it be when she has to pay her cornerman percentage to him? She'll pay it in pennies. Just comes to the gym with a pillowcase full of pennies, full of loose change. Sort it yourself, Dean. Hey, Hydra. What's up, brother? Good to see you, man.
W.
Thanks for checking in on Muay Thai Sunday, my man. Hope you had a good week. Hope you had a good weekend. Hope you enjoyed the fights. You would totally pay in pennies? Yeah. Pay in unrolled pennies. Nice front kick for Kunsuklek. Yeah, Kunsuklek doing all right in this fight, even with the bigger opponent. Zulfagari just not really touching all that much. A lot of body kicks for Kunsuklek. Or pesos, even better, not the bills, but coins. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, pay in a foreign currency and loose change. I watched the card with my boys, enjoyed it a lot until the last two fights. I think most people feel that way for sure. Genuinely fighting to keep my eyes open round 3 onwards from the Dern fight until the Islam head kick woke me up. Feel you on that. I'm sure if you go back into the Yama archives, back when me and Vitzking were still streaming together on the couch, you can certainly find a couple of instances of either one of us or both of us asleep at times. Couch is comfy. What can I say? Yeah, we'll talk it all through, of course, tomorrow on the podcast. Monday nights, 10 o'clock p.m., myself and Chase Parton. Assuming that his internet holds up. Hope he's doing well. Let's see if Kansuklek can wear the body down even more, get this thing to the ground. Man, we need a beanbag for fuck's sake. We've gotten 0 beanbags on this card so far. Unacceptable.
Unacceptable!
What did you think of the Cheaty fight? I loved it, but the crowd was clearly not agreeing, so I don't know if I'm a freak for the crowd or the crowd of casuals. I mean, look, I didn't hate the fight altogether. I was confused by the fight. I was confused by the fight considering that Joel Alvarez looked like an absolute mannequin out there at times. And I mean, I think that I'm still, I mean, at this point it's completely over, but at the time of watching the fight, I was still flabbergasted that this is the same Joel Alvarez who fought at 155. I mean, it's just, he is a completely different fighter. 0 beanbags almost an hour in is criminal. Brother, this is on top of already being an hour in prior to that. They broke the card up into 2 streams tonight. So this is part 2. We didn't get any beanbags on the prelims either. Yeah, this is unfortunately not the greatest. Plus we have a women's fight in the banger fight, so I don't know about tonight. True, RWS usually has a couple beanbags, bro. I mean, generally. This is not the RWS that I fell in love with. Should have watched Thai fight again. I'm going to start mixing Thai fight in more often, I think. We also got to watch Patong Fight Night again. I really enjoyed Patong Fight Night. Ooh, nice counter by Kansuklek. This dude Piteman over here is like throwing the kitchen sink out, but he's whiffing on his shots as the longer fighter. Oof, nice. Nice delayed step-in kick. Yeah, Kansuklek looking pretty good in this fight. Oh, big jump knee for Kansuklek. Petchindi was fun too. I'd be down to do Petchindi again. Petyindi. I felt very big brain because I picked Cheaty and enjoyed the Frozen Man hate watch. Also, really nice kicks by Cheaty, which I love. Yeah, Cheaty's kicks were good. I mean, let's not get it completely twisted, though. I wouldn't say that Cheaty looked like a world ender in that fight, but compared to Joel Alvarez, he looked perfectly fine. So, yeah, congratulations. Good pick. And, I mean, yeah, you know, exactly as I said on the podcast. Exactly as I said on the podcast. I said, I'm picking Joel Alvarez, but I'm going to need to see something in this fight. I didn't see anything in the fight. You're done. You're done. You're done. You're done. Also, we did have, apparently, I mean, no way to confirm it, of course, but someone who was saying that they are Joel Alvarez's nephew in the chat, which was kind of interesting. He definitely wasn't a world ender, and I never think he'll be ranked. I just like seeing pure Muay Thai work in the UFC. Exactly. Another reason why I want Carlos Prates to get the title shot. Somebody who can actually give a legitimately dangerous fight to Islam Makhachev and use Muay Thai doing it. Yeah, Kansuklek is walking away with this thing against a much bigger guy, so good deal. Yet another Iranian falling for the simple fact that he is Iranian. Hate to see it. You should ask him if he got a performance degrading. You should ask him if he got on performance degrading drugs to bulk up to welterweight. He's just a dude who lost all of his natural abilities by not being a weight bully. Prates has nasty Muay Thai, bro. I'm telling you, the one guy who I think could possibly dethrone the king. T.I. Shout out to T.I. with the album, Kill the King. All right, Kansuklek up 2 rounds. After the Gary fight, I'm confidently picking Prates if he gets the shot, and I'm hoping we're in the minority, so it's plus money. I would be very interested to see how that line shakes out. I think I don't know if he would be plus money. I would think it would probably be both minus money, but if it is plus money, that line will move instantly. That line will be moving instantly well before that fight. If he comes in at any semblance of plus money, even if he comes in at even money, that line is instantly going to move. There's no way that people aren't snatching that up. Even the most casual fan knows Carlos Prates at this point. If Prates can keep it standing for more than 120 seconds, is fraud is dead? Is fraud. A little bit of a stretch there, but okay, I see what you're saying. While I think Carlos is more dangerous on the feet, I think his chances of avoiding Islam's game is much worse than Morales. What? That is a surprising take to me. Why do you think that he'd be worse than Morales specifically? Because I could see both of them falling to the game, but I don't think that there's one that has a... I mean, if I had to choose one that I think has a better advantage, I would think that it'd be Prates. Specifically for adapting to what he'd be dealing with Islam's takedowns. I mean, Morales does have very good takedown defense, but I don't think that it's better in the big picture than Carlos Prates, I would think. I don't know. Show your work. Rumored line was Carlos plus 270? No fucking way. Who say these rumors, brother? Who say this rumor? We must find out who spreads these vicious lies. Guaranteed, there's no fucking way that they bring Carlos Prates in at a plus 270. If Carlos Prates comes in as a plus 270, I am throwing every dollar in my bank account on that. And then I will sit back and watch as that line turns into minus money in a matter of minutes. What weight class is Prates? He's a welterweight, brother. Islam gets an insane amount of bets, though, so him at plus money is the possible GOAT. As the possible GOAT is dangerous for Vegas. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I can't imagine. Prates. Well, that's the thing. They don't have to make either of them plus money. They could make it like a pick'em with minus 105 versus minus 115. Bro, Kunsuklek over here just running this fight. This Iranian champion is getting styled on by this much tinier man from Thailand. Gary showed the way to beat Carlos is grappling. Why would he do better against Islam? Because Carlos Prates didn't really turn up in that fight until the 5th round. And I would suspect that against Islam Makhachev in a title fight, he would start fighting a little bit sooner. Basically the same criticism that I had of Ian Gary in that fight with Islam, I had of Carlos Prates in his fight with Ian Gary. Strong start is really what you need to do. He looked a lot stronger in his start against JDM. That would be the thought process anyway. Oh, another nice kick to the body for Kunsuklek. I love watching him fight, but I mean, jiu-jitsu and wrestling is something he should work on just in case. Yeah, of course. Got to be a well-rounded mixed martial artist to be sure. Jeez, Kunsuklek with a trip just to add insult to injury. Morales has an extensive judo background. Carlos only does anti-grappling. Morales is from an Olympic judo family. All right, I'll give you that. That is good. That is a good basis for your thought process. His judo is what makes his stand-up so dangerous. I like it. All right, fair enough. I accept this thought process. How does Iran always get so victimized in Muay Thai? Hydra, I wish I fucking knew. I wish I knew. I wish I knew not only how they get so victimized in Muay Thai, but how they consistently in RWS find an infinite number of people from Iran and Iraq to fight in RWS and lose consistently. You would think that in Iran and Iraq that if RWS comes calling, they would already know not to pick up the phone. Unless they're just offering like world-changing money. Volk showed the game plan to beat Islam 3 years ago. Sometimes it's hard to implement a game plan. There is certainly validity to that as well. Especially when you're talking about the pound for pound, brother. Say what you will about the quality of that fight, but he is the GOAT for the reason. Or I guess more applicable, the pound for pound has a name. Carlos didn't turn up in that fight because Gary's grappling was shutting him down. And that I take a little bit of issue with. I think that Prates could have been way more active off the start of the round. If you go back and watch that fight, you'll notice that he is way too hesitant to actually get into his striking sequences as the rounds are starting. And you listen to the podcast, you know what I have to say about that. Start strong. I think Prates allowed for the grappling to dictate that fight for way longer than it needed to. I think the grappling for Gary was so open for him and Prates striking was so weak was because of Ian's high kick keeping Prates hands high and tight the whole time. That could be, but you got to counter that with your own offense. Look, there is a difference between respecting your opponent and holding back your own offense, I say. You have to be willing to go in there and at least test the power. Find out what the barometer is. Find out what the level of the damage is. Now, granted, you don't want to get knocked out, of course. You don't want to get dropped. Protect your body, all of those kinds of things. But you can't be as pensive as Carlos Prates was through the course of a 5-round fight. Every round coming out the gate way too apprehensive, I think. Same with Ian Gary against Islam Makhachev. I don't think Islam has the stand-up weapons to deter Prates from opening up with strikes to deter the grappling rather than straight-up scrambling. Yeah, this is what I mean. And now, of course, JDM, a much different fighter than Islam. But I do think that Carlos Prates in the fights after the Ian Gary fight showed a tremendous amount of improvement in the speed of his beginning of the round. You know, his out of the blocks striking, so to speak. Curious, what is the conversion of baht to Iranian currency? That's a good question. I don't even know what the currency is in Iran. Baht to Iranian. Oh, it's the rial. Baht to rial. 1 Thai baht. Oh my God, the Iranian currency is crazy. 1 Thai baht, and you know how much baht is compared to the dollar. 1 Thai baht, 41,616 Iranian rial to 1 baht. Jesus Christ, their money is valueless. It might just be because of the current circumstances going on over there, which you know that the United States is not letting go of. Oh, yeah, Kunsuklek is a former RWS champion as well. Good for him getting another nice victory there. I remember when the champion had a name and it was Charlie Oliveira. I know, brother. I know. Charlie Olives, a beloved figure in this sport. We're coming up on our main event here. And then somehow we've got a fucking... How do we still we're coming up on the main event. We've got 2 more fights and we still have over an hour worth of stream. God damn it, RWS. Really drawing these fuckers out. Prates said after that fight he believed any single large shot he landed would KO Gary and the big threat he saw was the high kick. And Ian spammed it, so he was just defending, waiting for the one opening. Yeah, so lack of game planning. Once Islam gets Carlos down, which is just a matter of time, he definitely won't get back up. All right. I mean, we will see if it happens, I suppose, but that certainly is one way it could go down. Islam by second boring cuddle fest. All right, well, at least we're getting ceiling graphics. Ceiling graphics! I think Carlos could hurt Islam from the bottom with elbows, even if he can't get up. Ian was already busting up Islam with those little clinch punches he landed. You're not wrong with that, actually. That is going to be something I'll probably be saying on the podcast, is that Ian in the clinch was a lot more impressive than I was expecting. And not even just in the 50-50 either. I mean, like when he was when Islam was riding his back, which was good a couple of times there, he was actually doing some really nice work. Either repositioning or landing little short shots. This is for the interim lightweight title right now. More new likes on TikTok. God, we are running it on TikTok right now, my people. Good deal. Sorry. How many remodels till the Apex gets ceiling graphics? Bro, they're probably out there figuring out how to make it happen right now. Because as we know, Rajadamnern Stadium is the Apex's older, wiser brother. So they take all of the great things and apply them to the UFC. They'll probably get ceiling graphics when UFC Muay Thai starts, and that day will be a very sad day. So basic moderate living in Iran, one needs 720 rial. Yeah, probably I would say much less than that. And they might do like fractional rial, you know what I mean? They might be like, quarter of a rial. They might even have like a lower, the same way that we have pennies, they might have like sub-denominations. 720 million, yeah. Protest with those freaky long limbs, spamming knees, teeps, and uppercuts at range, and spamming elbows to the forearm and head in the clinch. He's got Islam in the bag. It certainly will be a different body type than Islam is used to, even though he did just fight a guy who is also tall and long. I didn't think that Ian Gary really used his length very effectively. There are points in the fight Islam looks stuck at range, scared of the engagements with Ian Gary, who can't damage a top 5 fly. Yeah, I mean, there were a lot of times that they were just standing there in front of each other, waiting for the other person to strike. But like I said, I didn't think Ian Gary looked very good with his range striking in that fight. I hope this game picks up pace. It's so fucking difficult. You have to do specific side quests to progress through the main story. It doesn't tell you. You just have to. I don't like games like that, bro. I do not like games like that. Figuring it out. Which ones are mandatory? If side quests are mandatory, they aren't side quests. They're main quests. Yeah, that's a good point. And yeah, I would not be happy with a game like that. That does not sound like fun to me. Only Zest will beat Islam. That's right. Get Bilal Hassan in there for a title shot immediately. Bilal Hassan for title shot. Bro, how much of a fucking break do we have on this card? Oh, because this is a 5-round fight. Main event. All right. Coming into the main event here. And then we've got the ladies fight. Can you still call it a banger fight if it's the ladies fight? I think I know what half the chat would say. Got 0 beanbags on this card tonight. A lady fight could be a banger, but I wouldn't hold my breath. That's kind of how I'm feeling about this one, especially considering we have seen very, very, very few women beanbag when it comes to RWS. That's why Marie Rumette was such a good pull early on. I think Marie Rumette might have been on the very first RWS card that we ever watched, and I've been a fan ever since. And seeing her in the crowd outside of her kit, I'm a big fan. I am a very big fan. So basically, 50K bot is over 2 billion Iranian rial. Not sure how much the Iranians make. Probably not much, brother. If the currency is valued that highly, or that not highly, at that low, if the currency is at that rate of inflation, I would suspect that the average Iranian is not making a very large amount of money. Also, Iran is under siege right now, if you're not aware. I don't know if you ever played Skyrim, but there is a hardcore difficulty where you have to eat and sleep proportionately and a regular mode. This game has no regular mode. Oh, dude. No. First of all, no, I've never played Skyrim. No interest whatsoever in a game like that. And second of all, that game that you're playing, I wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole, bro. I don't have anywhere near the patience for a game like that. I like easy to understand, hard to master games that you can pick up and put down quickly. I have to eat and sleep proportionately to maintain and regenerate health. So gay. Oh, you mean in RWS? Yeah, good question. I don't know what the average payout is for fighters in RWS, like what their base pay is. Iranian rial, highest valued currency in the world. I've been seeing posts of Iranian shit posting, and apparently they are pretty good at their meme game, from what I've seen. Bro is walking out to Metallica. What a Chad. Samingdet walking out to Sad But True. Sad But True. Hey. Hell yeah, dude. Great walkout song. Now I'm rooting for Samingdet. He's the champ. Well, he's the one holding the interim belt anyway. Sad but true. All right, 5-round main event incoming here. Samingdet versus Duangsompong. Thailand versus Thailand. Duangsompong has the Polynesian tattoos going on, hanging out with Kai Kamaka, hanging out with Kai Kara France, hanging out with Carlos Prates. No, Carlos Olberg. Carlos Prates has a bunch of tattoos, not None of those. I thought his name was Samingdet at first. I related so hard. For real, bro. Salmon will put you in debt. There have been many fishing trips where I catch nothing and I feel like I owe the lake a fish debt. That's a true warrior mentality right there. I taketh from the lake. If the lake does not giveth, I oweth to the lake. That's some Viking shit right there. I like that. That's a warrior mentality. Kaikara France, him and his whole team are a bunch of what? What are they a bunch of?
My nipples are so tender, don't squeeze them anymore!
Forever my favorite drop. My favorite drop on the board. We've got 8 million drops on the board at this point. Still my favorite. What does Kaikara France's team do? What do they do when they go out on a stroll, maybe in an open space, perhaps a park?
You're playing touch butt with that dork in the park.
Perhaps. Now we know where Hydra stashes his dead bodies. Got to anchor those things, bro. In the salmon. I mean, hopefully he's catching the salmon to eat the salmon. And also, hopefully, he's not actually killing human beings. Leave that to the government. What? I don't know what they do, but I hear from a reliable source they're a bundle of sticks. I have heard the same. In fact, I made an entire Yamma video about it. Nobody knows what the hell a gazelle is, and this is America. Nate can't count up to 5. Wait, all right, count down from 10. Nate can only count to 5. I would never kill a human. I almost cry when when a fish swallows my lure too deep and I have to kill it. True. Compassion. I would kill a human, but only deservedly? Well, different story there. Who decides? Who decides what's deserved? Goes back to our conversation on the Melky Galvao watch-along video. Still one of the most gut-wrenching things I've ever watched on stream. I have to check out your video. I have never heard of Kai Kara and his crew. Oh, well, you obviously were not watching that event where Manel Kopp got on the microphone. Him and Charles Radke. Manel Kopp and Charles Radke. 2 F slurs and 1 card. Nate can't even count to 5. The hell is this, the Money Channel? True, dude. Why were they on there? Always my question. What the fuck were they doing on that channel in the first place? Take 5 nighttime. Take 5 Nate for a coffee break, and by coffee break, I mean bring me my coffee. All classics. If they hook it too deep in their guts, and they'll die, and if I release them anyways, they'll die if I release them anyway, so I kill them quickly and eat them no matter what they are. I always try and catch and release, though. Good man. Well, maybe you should change the lures, bro. Maybe there's a safer lure. If somebody's trying to physically harm you, I'm not a violent guy despite liking MMA, but if somebody is trying to harm you or a loved one, you got the green light to, I got you, Wes. Yeah, I mean, of course. I think self-defense is what the martial arts are all about, right? Discipline and self-defense. Never use your weapons for evil. You know, I never listened to the post-fight interviews since I rarely catch events live. Yeah. Oh, this is a long time ago now, brother. This is probably going on like 2 years ago now. Except for crappie, those are for eating only. I've heard crappie is good eating. I've never had one, I don't think, but I have heard that that's good fish. Other than self-defense, really no reason to hurt anybody that badly. Exactly. I mean, you know, if only to stop them from hurting others, I guess. Random Hayden Panettiere just died at 36. The actress? Really? What the fuck happened there? 36? Yeah. That little pretty blonde girl. What happened? Jesus Christ, dead at 36. Not immediately available as far as the details go. Oh, well, rest in peace, man. 36 years old. That's quite a shame. She's beautiful, man. Jesus Christ. What a loss. She was on Heroes, I believe, right? I think. I don't know if I'd ever seen anything that she was in, but I was aware of who she was. Wow. Well, rest in peace, Hayden Panettiere. That's very unfortunate. Never been the type to go looking for a fight, but I've been in 2 fights my entire life, and they were both in high school, but I want a fight to present itself to me in the near future. Well, you can get a fight anytime you want, bro. Go train. I'm not just going to punch the first guy that says something disrespectful, of course, but I want to know how I stack up at 24. Brother, get inside of a fucking ring or a cage, brother. Yeah, Heroes, exactly. Wow. Yeah, I wonder what happened. I mean, 36 years old, you can kind of speculate at an age that young, but I, of course, will withhold my speculation. That is terrible, man. Her and that other young girl not too long ago passed away, that other actress. Oh my gosh, what was her name? I can see her face. The girl who played Harriet the Spy. Golly, what was her name? Not assuming anything, I knew she did struggle with either alcohol or drugs or both, but last I checked, she had been clean and doing well. Oh, man. She has a kid with boxer Vladimir Klitschko? Oh, damn, I didn't know that. Jesus, dude. Klitschko left without a mother to his children now. Yikes. Any guy with any type of training whatsoever destroys me. Well, that's why you train yourself, bro. Sadly, I don't have time for that. My perfect fantasy is like a drunk guy that's being too disrespectful and starts pushing you. Oh, brother. You're going to get yourself in trouble out there, Wes. You're doing so well with your investments and your job and all these things. You're out here potentially getting yourself into trouble. Heroes is one of your yearly rewatches. Yeah, I know people didn't enjoy that show. I never watched it myself. Push kick to stomach and immediate jab right hook. Bro's got it all mapped out in his mind. Excuse me, Jesus. Mapped out in his mind. Bro, another boring RWS title fight, for fuck's sake. Never knew she was on and off with Klitschko. Yeah, I didn't know that either. That's a odd pairing. I wonder how they even met. I'm so docile. If I ever hit somebody that's absolutely deserved it and physically mess with me first. All right. Just saying, bro. Sometimes you can still get yourself in trouble even if you didn't start the fight. Still end up getting yourself arrested. Still have to pay a bunch of money. Klitschko had full custody after she had already lost her custody, so it seems like that was already the case. Oh, man. Yeah, she must have been doing bad. Yeah, she must have had some legitimate problems. Oh, God, hate to see it. She was a child star, too, man. They uh, always such a rocky road for those children stars, you know? Too old to potentially getting into legal trouble for fighting. That's what I'm saying, bro. Don't venture into it. Wes could have one of the hardest fight picks if he didn't tie his hair up first. Still could. Go full Wes Schultz. Just carry bear spray and run away. Hard to say that as a man, because I understand where Wes is coming from, you know? As a man, you want to fight, but I get it. You got to be better than that, though. You got to be smarter than that. Some people will bait you into a fight just to fucking hit you with the legal shit. My only 2 fights in high school were when I was 14 and 15. When I was 14 and freshman, I fought a senior varsity football player. Who was 120 pounds heavier than me. I didn't exactly win. Well, good ass beating is sadly necessary in life. And when I was 15, was against a guy my weight, but I didn't know this when we fought. Apparently, he was a karate brown belt. Damn, dude. Shit, you got the raw deal in both those fights. I didn't exactly win that one either, but oddly enough, the one against the karate brown belt did go vastly better. I rocked him once. Okay. Then he destroyed you, mounted you, and after you dropped him, we clinched, but he outmuscled you, gave about 10 punches, asked if I was done, and you said yes. Smart move. Shook hands with both men after. Good man. And hopefully that was the end of it. I wish every single state in America was a mutual combat state. Granted, the mutual combat rules are very silly. You have to find a police officer and then have them referee the bout. Yeah. A little ridiculous. Officer, I'd like to fight this man. Ooh, nice elbow. Samingdet. Couple good elbows there. Split round 1. Mutual combat is based. California is a mutual combat state, but not a right to work state. I find that weird. Bro, nothing makes sense in California, man. Come on. Everything's backwards in California. Oh, where? Well, fuck you. Whoa. That Offspring album was real good. That Offspring album came out right at the right time for Young Thinker. I was a big fan of that record. I was a big fan of The Offspring. I should listen to them again. Maybe I'll do that in the car tomorrow. I don't have to go anywhere tomorrow. Next time I'm in the car, I got to listen to The Offspring. Americana. Great album. There are a couple songs on there that are not great, but still, the songs that are good are real good. You'd be for looking like Wes Schultz, hair down to your belly button. There you go. Full Wes Schultz is out. Chase would be your number 1 fan. Thankfully, I only ever got my ass beat in the gym by people who are holding back on me. That's probably better. But I do think it is somewhat important to get at least one good ass whipping in your life. Makes you understand what pain is, you know? I've only ever been in one real fight in my life, but I did win the fight, but I still took a good amount of damage in it, and I knew that I didn't want to fight again. Absolutely. The varsity football player and I were actually on the bowling team together for a full season after that. We were very cordial and even kind of friends. Why did you fight in the first place? Yeah, Samingdet took that round with the elbow for sure. One time I kind of punked some guys in high school, and thankfully they didn't call my bluff because there was 3 of them, and I can't beat one man equal to me in a fight. Yeah. 3-on-1. Call that a jumpin'. Yeah, that elbow was slick. Sadly, like the only highlight of the round, man. RWS title fights can either be amazing or fucking boring. Add another boring title fight to the weekend. How many can we have in one weekend? Jeez, another split round. What the fuck? 19-19 all tied up. What? Wow. Odd judging in this fight. Even 19s across the board. My worst ass whipping was when I was sparring with my Muay Thai coach trying to see how tough I was. I couldn't walk well on my lead leg the next day and almost threw up after a liver kick. Yeah. Yeah. I can imagine. I'm throwing this full 42-ounce Dr. Pepper at him. They did it again, and I checked my drink. It landed perfectly on their windshield. I immediately got out of the car and started being like, "What's up?" Oh, you initiated. Channeling your inner Nate Diaz Stockton. You were yelling Stockton? You're not from Stockton. You were invoking Nate Diaz? That was an invocation. I think if you say it 3 times, he does pop up to help you fight, though. Thankfully, they thought they thought you were serious and they didn't try to fight you. All right, fair enough. Ooh, nice connection there from Duangsompong. Yeah, Duangsompong. Oh, big drop! Big drop for Samingdet! Oh, Duangsompong back to his feet. That was a nasty elbow. Oh, let's see if Samingdet can finish this thing. He had him rocked. Oh, turn up. All right. Duangsompong clinching up like he knows he should. Oh, that was a crazy elbow. Damn, that replay is fucking gnarly. But yeah, Duangsompong doing the right thing by just clinching up right now. Samingdet needs to do some range striking here, bro. Kick my guy. Yeah, there we go. Duangsompong trying to come back. Ooh, nice big connection, but another nice elbow for Samingdet. Me and the football player really should have never fought. His girlfriend who was a sophomore came on to me, and we ended up hooking up. She never once mentioned she had a boyfriend or anything. Yeah. Fighting over women, what a surprise. He found out, and there was really no way of talking myself out of that. Fuck that lady, yeah, dude. They have a way of complicating things, don't they? Oh, drop for Duangsompong. Oh, they're counting it as a slip. Ah, possible beanbag. Yes, beanbag is now possible. Both guys still in this fight, though, and still effective. This fight has taken a turn. Close first 2 rounds, a little bit slow in those first 2 rounds, but this round has turned up the heat. Nice kick, but a nice return by Duangsompong. I feel like I kind of had the opposite of Wes high school fights. I also had 2 where I was the bigger guy and they didn't believe in Muay Thai, I guess, and I was the bigger guy for both. Well, worked out for you, I guess. Oh, just missed. Duangsompong. I never understood that. Why would you get an innocent man, a much, much smaller man that didn't play football, fight a varsity lineman just because you didn't want to break up with him? Women. I mean, some people just want their cake and eating it too kind of thing. Some people are just not great when it comes to relationships, especially at that age. I'm guilty of that myself. You know? I think that one of the worst things I ever did was when I was a younger man, when it came to relationships. I cheated on my girlfriend with her best friend. I do not say this to brag in the slightest. I feel like a scumbag to this day for that. I forever feel like a fucking complete asshole for having done that. I was young, you know. I didn't put much stock into relationships. I didn't consider the feelings of the other person. It was just mindless youngster behavior. But it's behavior I can never take back. So hopefully she understands that she was wrong in that situation. But sometimes people don't ever know that. And that's unfortunate too. That fight video went a little viral in high school, maybe 30,000 views just because your dad filmed it? Your dad was in on it? So this was definitely like an actual like mutual combat situation, huh? When the football player went into my guard, your dad ran up and was like, what? And your dad was like, hell yeah, Hydra? Nice. He knew Hydra was coming way later in life. Hey, Lachlan. What's good, Lachlan? What is good, brother?
W.
No shame in that, buddy. High school relationships don't count. I was a devilish young man in high school. I was old enough to know better, I feel. You know, at least I feel like that way now. Plus, this was a girl that I would end up having like on again, off again, kind of like pseudo relationship with over the course of my life. And had I played the cards better, that could have been like a legitimate like partner for life kind of situation. That I could have seen myself being with her forever. And threw it all away. It was not the right thing to do. It was the exact wrong thing to do. I'm bad with women, but not in the cheater way. I just fall down their stairs or make them watch. I just fall down their stairs or make them watch DDP highlights. Certainly one way to stay single for a long time. Why do you fall down their stairs? Now, treating in a serious adult relationship scum, just break up with your partner. Yeah, exactly. And like I said, I was old enough to know better. I shouldn't have done that. It was, like I said, I regret it to this day. Oh, your dad said, get off him, fat boy. Did you know that your dad's a boxer? Maybe that had something to do with it. Maybe that's why he thought it was okay to challenge you. Oh, they're swinging now. Oh, man, Duangsompong trying to turn this fight around. 10-8 round for Samingdet, that last round, of course, because of the drop. Both my fights were insanely mutual combat. My dad drove me over to this fight in his car, asked me just before the fight, because he's a pro fighter, if I wanted advice. Nice. And you said, nah, I got this. And you did not got it. Dad filming the whole thing, and at least I was a nice enough guy. My dad was the only one that had video of it. So your dad put it out on the internet? Or you put it out on the internet? Damn. Shout out to Duangsompong over here. Still making this fight competitive. He is really not giving up. He wants this belt. Nice enough to still send it to the guy that beat my ass, because obviously he wanted to show that around. What shame do I have in losing to a guy that's 18 when I'm 14 and 120 pounds heavier? Damn, he was 18 and you were 14? He could have been charged, I think. Like, I know it was mutual combat and all, but I think there are still laws against that. At bare minimum, it proves I'll fight anybody. There you go, brother. fighting around the world like Russell Crowe. Last time I went over to a girl's place, we did shots in her room. I did too many, and I really wanted water from her kitchen downstairs. I fell and only hit like 4 stairs the whole way down. You know what happened when you hit the ground at the end? This sound it played. Wait, what? This sound played when you hit the ground. You went, wow! It was two-prong. First, this played.
Banana peel!
And then this played. I just kind of ran out the door and slept the rest of the night in my car and didn't ever talk to her. Bro, what? Bro, you were so embarrassed that you fell down the stairs while you were drunk that you fucking slept in your car? I mean, that seems like a little bit of an extreme reaction. Granted, you were drunk, so I guess reactions are going to be more extreme, but I mean, that seems a little bit strange to me, bro. I don't think that falling down the stairs should have precluded you from continuing to accomplish the mission. But I guess it is what it is. I don't think he knew my dad was a fighter, but my dad's not a moron. He was going to beat the fuck out of a 17 or 18-year-old. Oh, what's he gonna do? Beat the fuck out of a 17 or 18-year-old? Well, that's what I'm saying. I think at 18 years old, if he was actually 18, that might not have been legal. I don't know what the laws in your state are, though. You still hit his girlfriend, though. True. Tag, you're it. And I guess he could have gotten charged, but I ain't a bitch. It's America. Good deal. I didn't hear no bell. But there's a bell in this fight. All right. This is round number 5. 5. Yes, round number 5. Final round. Live by the sword, die by the sword. Holy shit, I got stabbed that night. Feel you, bro. But you did the right thing. Good deal. Bro, could we possibly have an RWS card that has 0 beanbags on it? Didn't even want to bang anymore after that. To be honest, I was just too embarrassed to come back with my tail between my legs, failing the task of getting water and needing just a bed to sleep in. Gotcha. Fair enough, I suppose. I don't know, man. I guess, I have a very, very extensive history with drunken behavior. Falling downstairs would have been among the more tame things. Falling downstairs would have been entirely acceptable. Oh my God. So much clinching at this point. Samingdet, hit the elbow again, please. Ooh, nice connection for Duangsompong. Got to give it to Duangsompong here, man. He is fighting till the end. Bro is still swinging. Nice knee. All right, 30 seconds. I fear that we are going to go beanbagless tonight. I need to get a no beanbag drop for the board. No beanbag. Unacceptable lack of beanbags. All right, and that's the fight. Samingdet will retain his interim title. When are you going to unify that thing? God damn it, I think the champ is injured. I heard someone say Thai names sound like a children's author writing the sound crashing pots and pans make, and now I can't unhear it. That feel like, I know that it's not racist, but it feels vaguely racist. You know what I mean? I know that it's not like racially motivated, but it just says it has like the feeling of a racist statement. Still funny though. That's wow. Oh man. Thank you for that, Hydra. That's pretty fucking funny. Oh man, a beanbagless night. You hate it. You hate when that happens. All right, the RWS president is here again. He has descended from the mountaintop. Tayenchai Pisitwat Inan. Tayenchai Pisitwatanan. Pisitwatanan. RWS with no beanbags feels like a Christmas without snow. Fucking A, brother. That's what we call a Floridian Christmas, but either way, I understand the sentiment. Had to move my car. Did I miss anything good? This was not a bad fight. Samingdet versus Duangsompong was a fine fight, and shout out to Duangsompong for really wanting to win this fight all the way to the end. He will not win the fight, but no finishes on this card, man. We have not sat a single person upon the beanbag tonight. And my heart is heavy for that very reason. All right. And of course, Samingdet retains his belt. President Tainchai gives him his little belt buckle. And he continues to be the interim champ. They really made this man defend an interim belt, just like Tom Aspinall. Of course, he gets his 150,000 baht. Could go over and be a fucking be one of the richest men in Iran if he wanted to go over there. Only snow I have had on Christmas did not fall from the sky. Damn. That's one way to celebrate Christmas. Jesus. Defending an interim belt should automatically make it undisputed, in my opinion. I kind of agree. I actually think that that's not a bad idea, really. I mean, make the fucking champ fight for it again. You know, just make it an automatic strip. I mean, because it's like, what is the difference? It's just one of those things about the sport that's kind of like a wonky convention of the old era of the game, you know? Because it's like, what's the difference? If you have an interim champ and he's hanging onto an interim belt, he defends the belt. Let's say that you do exactly that. That becomes undisputed for that time. The former champion who now gets stripped just becomes the number one contender and immediately gets the shot anyway. Like, that should just be the stipulation, is that, okay, this becomes the undisputed belt. You win. You are now the undisputed champion. However, first dibs is on the former champ. Why not? Duangsompong's Instagram handle is Duangsompong J. Do you mean to tell me that there is another Duangsompong who already got that handle on Instagram? There's another dude whose name is Duangsompong. I guess maybe it's a more common name in Thailand, perhaps. All right. Take the headphones off for a little minute while we wait for the banger fight. God, I pray that it is actually a banger fight. Oh, they're giving Duangsompong the Fighter Spirit Award. I'm okay with that. He really did fight to the end, man. It was a good, tough fight for him. I'm even without a finish for Samingdet, I do think that a Fighter Spirit Award for Duangsompong is fine. What's your early Merab Yan 3 prediction? I mean, bro, if Petr Yan just does exactly what he did in the second fight, I got to go with my man Petr Yan. Talk about a guy who made the adjustments necessary for the opponent that he had. I could not tell you how happy I was with his performance in that second fight. I've been a Petr Yan fan since the very beginning. Literally the very first, since his first fight in the UFC. I've seen every single Petr Yan fight. I will never forget it because I researched Petr Yan before his first fight in the organization. I said, man, this guy is pretty good. And then I went to a tilted kilt. If you don't know what a tilted kilt is, that's similar to like a Hooters kind of place. That was back way before Yama. I went to the tilted kilt to watch the card, and I saw Petr Yan, and I said, that guy has champ potential. So I am very happy that he did what he did, and I think that if he does exactly what he did again, I mean, what improvements is Merab making? I don't know. Maybe we'll find out. You know? That's going to be the big question to me. Is Merab going to change his style in any way? $1 million question. 150,000 bot question. I'm a big fan of the Fighter Spirit Award. I'm a big fan of any way fighters get more money, though. Based. You love his step-in back trip move? Hell yeah, dude. He's got a couple of unique ones in the bag. Unique tricks. His performance was so beautiful. I'm just worried about how much better Merab will look with some recovery time. And and he seems like a guy who would work even harder after an L like that. It's not about working harder. It's about adapting your style to what's coming back at you. That's, in my opinion, that's, I think, the biggest issue. Merab, no one could ever fault Merab's work ethic. I will give you that Merab on full camp, not fighting, 7 times a year, that certainly could play a part. So that might be the better version of Merab that we'll get there. But I think that there's bigger issues at play than just the work rate. Merab is one of the hardest working men in the sport when it comes to training, conditioning, etc. He's the machine for a reason. So really, to me, it's all going to come down to whether or not there's an adaptation of the style to the opponent that you're fighting. Jacuzzi? Jacuzzi, Carlos. Yes, Merab plus Jacuzzi equals victory. And some weird singer chick who is much larger and loves kissing people. I've seen the video. Thinker, hypothetically, if I had the fight of me versus the brown belt, would you want to see? You can post it in the Discord. I'll watch it. I mean, it falls under general MMA discussion, does it not? Volk will get revenge on these Russian cuddle fuckers for all of us. Let's go, Lachlan. Yeah, I gotta go with Volk, man. Come on, dude. Think I'm not riding with Alexander Volkanovski over fucking boring Evloev, who thought he really was showing something against Lerone Murphy with that non-striking he was doing, and somehow, some way stumbled into a victory. I think a lot of people did not agree with that decision. I do not think Merab can humanly work harder than he does. Yeah, yo, Sanjay, that is one of the truest fucking things I have ever heard in my life.
You are correct, sir. Yes!
I don't think Marab would ever change his style. It'll just be more refined in the details and a better game plan. Well, I think a game plan is really more of what I mean, you know? Yeah, he doesn't have to adapt the style entirely. I mean, the style that he has is one of the most effective styles in the entire game. It's just a matter of adapting the game plan to what's coming back at you. And game planning is going to be the most important thing because that's what Petr Yan did effectively. He recognized the holes in his game. He shored up the holes in his game, came back, enacted a game plan, worked gangbusters. Yan wins, and then they book the O'Malley trilogy, and O'Malley puts him out cold. What? Come on, bro. O'Malley gets subbed inside 4 rounds. Okay. Nice save. All right, we're getting ready for our lady banger fight here. Kaunama. Kaunama is this girl's name. She's undefeated. All right, we might actually have a women's banger here. We might have a badass over here. I don't know. I don't know if Marab could work any harder, but if he does without overtraining, I think we see the peak of MMA cardio. I mean, he already is the peak, bro. There's no fucking way. There's no way you can get better cardio than Marab, even as Marab. I think that Marab has peaked, and that is the peak. It's like if the peak was here, and Marab was here before, Marab has already gotten here, and there is no here. Volk easy over Movsar Statutory Evloev. I mean, he's pretty open and honest about it. YouTube is being such an asshole to me today. Every time I get a commercial, it starts me back at the beginning of your stream. What? What? Unacceptable. YouTube, what are you doing? What are you doing to my viewers over here?
Unacceptable!
Jesus. Sorry that's the case, Sanjay. You sent it in the general? All right, well, I will check that out. Peak of all humans if he gets any higher? Yeah, right? Literal human peak. We're reaching the fucking event horizon of cardio. We're reaching critical mass. Like all humans ever or will ever come after. Exactly. So annoying, I have to scroll forward and then skip to catch up. I'm sorry, Sanjay. I'm sorry that that's the case, bro. Trust me, that is not my doing. But I do appreciate you. I appreciate you sitting through all of the annoying-ass advertisements on YouTube. Trust that they are in service of a very important thing, which is me getting a few pennies. So thank you for doing that. Appreciate you sticking it out. These two ladies look like childhood playmates. And not the magazine kind. I mean, two children that would be playing with each other in a sandbox. I do agree. A break is for sure what Marab needed. I'm so glad that he took time off, bro. I am so glad. I mean... That, you know, it's funny because I had mentioned that on the podcast when we were doing our predictions. I had said, I think I even asked Chase the question. I was like, do you think that this amount of activity is going to be a problem for Marab? It's one of the few things that I thought could be a legitimate issue. And then, of course, it turned out that it was. Commercials do not bother me. Just curious, as this has never happened before. Have you refreshed the page? You might want to refresh or close the browser and open it back up again, but either way, we're almost done with the stream. We got about 20 minutes left before we're going to be wrapping this thing up, calling it an evening over here. I got an early meeting tomorrow, too. God, I cannot wait to be done with this thing I am working on. Closed it and did it all one more. Closed it and did all that one more fight. Indeed. Hopefully we'll get out of here a little early. You know, see if this thing can actually be a fucking beanbag over here. It's the banger fight, for fuck's sake. Clearly a man of the people, a man of the community. Who else in Yama universe has sent a video of their teenage self getting the shit beat out of them for the sake of MMA? Truly a legend, Wes. Thank you for your service. Yeah, no, my fights were all, well, my one fight. My fight was well before the era where everyone had cell phones filming at all times. Cell phones did exist, but they did not have cameras in them yet, I don't think. I don't think that cell phones had cameras in them until I was like midway through college, I want to say. As crazy as that's. No. The flip phones had cameras in them. They were shit. You ever seen a picture taken on a flip phone? Try to look up a picture that was taken on an old school Nokia flip phone. It's almost criminal to even call them pictures. They are crude approximations. I remember because I believe it was my very first Mastodon show. I took some pictures on my phone, and that's how long ago it was. And I posted those pictures, and people were like, what the fuck is that? What the fuck is that supposed to be? My memory was apparently clouded. I absolutely did not drop him, but as you'll see, after we shook hands at the start, I put my hands up, and he just didn't, so I blasted a right hand. Hey, I mean, if you shook hands, you were ready to go, then protect yourself at all times. Yeah, that is some definite unk shit for sure. Speaking of drunk shit, with Hydra there, getting kicked out of a Mastodon concert. That's one of my drunk highlights. I want to say flip phone by Motorola was the first to add cameras, maybe BlackBerry. Could have been. I don't remember, but certainly does sound correct. Old school. Do. All right, Mr. Bia is introducing the banger fight. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me on a Sunday night into Monday morning for these fights. I appreciate you hanging. We'll see if we get a beanbag to close this thing out correctly. If not, this will be the rare instance with a beanbagless night on RWS. Hate to see it. You got your first phone in 7th grade? Shit, I don't even remember how old I was when I got my first phone. I think I might have been 17. That's, for some reason, that sounds correct. I might have been 17 years old, so I would probably have been in like 11th grade or something like that. I think it was, because in 11th grade would have been when I switched schools. So yeah, I think when I switched schools, I ended up getting a phone because, you know, I was at a different program, so needed to be able to get a hold of people. You were 24, Hydra, when you got your first, Sanjay? Yep. All right. Kaiwanama, 20-2 versus the undefeated fighter. That is, what's her name? Chabakal. We still have the same family plan 24 years later. Obviously, inflation. I mean, bro, like, you might want to upgrade your plan. You might be losing money on that one. I will say, when I upgraded my phone plan, it was the shit. I pay the exact same price I was paying before, and I get YouTube Premium for free. And a better phone. But I don't know. Maybe you're grandfathered into some crazy deal or something. All right, fight is underway. Banger fight. Come on, ladies. Your plan is solid? All right, fair enough. Phones are so expensive these days. I still rock an iPhone X. Damn, old school. My dad was low-key the man. Whenever one of my friends would get into a fight in high school, I would text him during the school. I'd be like, yo, Gavin has a fight in the park after school. I'll be there. When my friend Gavin fought an upperclassman when we were freshmen, your dad showed up to the fight, and the guy that Gavin fought was a wrestler, so he kept shooting, but so was Gavin. Nice. Yeah, for real, Hydra. We need a legitimate beanbag to finish this thing out strong. We reached 12K on TikTok. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. 12K on TikTok. Yes, thank you very much to everybody supporting on TikTok. If you have a TikTok account, follow your boy at Yama Show. Thank you to everybody who already has. I know that Hydra has. Thank you, brother. Damn, dude. I mean, is there not some kind of like possible criminal element to what your dad was doing? Being the seemingly responsible adult who should have been breaking up these kids fighting? Maybe there's not. I'm just saying. I don't know if there's some kind of moral gray area being the adult who should know better, allowing children to fight each other. But they let children fight each other in Thailand, so game on. I'm still shocked the cheerleader is dead. What does this mean for the world now? What cheerleader? Oh, Hayden Panettiere? Was she played a cheerleader? It's sad, man. It's sad. We'll find out what happened, I guess, but that is sad. As far as the law is concerned, my father was at the park and 2 teenagers started fighting, so what if he started throwing out advice for one of them? I guess you make a point. He was giving responsible coaching and cornering advice. What more can you ask for from the man? Okay. Certainly is one way to look at it. I mean, Dad just wanted to watch a good fight. Heroes, the main story for a while was Save the Cheerleader, Save the World, which was her character. Gotcha, okay. All right. Chabakaw gets round 1. I saw no beanbags in round 1. They're really going to make us sit through 3 rounds of this. Please finish this fight. Dum, dum, dum. The fight with Gavin and that guy was crazy. Like I said, he was an upperclassman and we were freshmen, so there was zero exaggeration, about 150 to 200 kids in a circle during that fight. Damn. Maybe his mental health was struggling after watching a card with no beanbags. He just needed someone to finally get a beanbag. It's not his fault. I can understand that. I can certainly understand that. I'm feeling the same way right now. Yeah, your fight footage better be good, Wes. This card ain't doing it for me. I need some entertainment. All right. Oof. I mean, it's like they just go instantly into the clinch. All right. Break it up. It's good in a sense that it's entertaining, but if you're a friend of mine, not exactly great for me. Okay, gotcha. Well, unfortunately, you're going to be playing the Iranian for the evening. Y'all are stronger than me. What is it? The co-main and 0 beanbags. I would have turned this shit off an hour ago. No, this is the banger fight, man. Main event already happened. No beanbag there either. There was a knockdown, thankfully. At least we got a knockdown. Oh my God. Yes, just more clinching. How is this the banger fight? Fire the matchmakers. Wonder what travel costs are for the Iranian fighters? Good question. They might pay for travel. Maybe that's part of it. Maybe that's how they get so many Iranians over. They might have some kind of sports arrangement with Iran and Iraq. You know, some pipeline type thing. Could be. That's a speculation, though. I don't know. Oh, my God. More clinching. Jesus. Bro, it's like they throw 2 strikes and then it's just straight back into the clinch. And it's not even like a crazy active clinch. It's just clinch and wait. Back into the clinch. There, all right, there's a good knee in the clinch. A couple good knees there. Ooh, there you go. Okay. All right. That was a better round for Kaunama. Might be 1-1. At least we'll have maybe a decider round here. All my time watching RWS, have never seen a card this underwhelming. I said, it's so funny too, because I was like, when I saw this card, I was like, I mean, I don't know any of these fighters. I feel like this might be a weak card on paper, but you know my rule, man. Sometimes the weakest cards on paper can be the best. Nope, not this one. Shit, man. Sadly, in the big picture, this has been a kind of underwhelming weekend of fights when it comes to the higher profile at the very least. We did Lux Fight Challenge or whatever, Lux Fighting League. We did Lux Fighting League with one of the worst paced prelim cards I have ever seen. Main card was a little bit better, but we did Lux. We did 330, which was great up until the very end, so at least that was good. And then we did this, which has been real mid. I mean, like, there have been some good fights on this card. I don't want to like over diss it, but like between the co-main and the main last night, Lux and this, not the greatest weekend of fights we've ever had. Thinker, this is a tough question. I know. I need your top 5 or to 7-ish Japanese fighters in MMA of all time. Oh, bro, come on. I can't pull that kind of knowledge out off the top of my head, man. I mean, like off the top of my head, I mean, you got to go Kazushi Sakuraba, Takanori Gomi. Shit. I think Naito would be one of them, right? Horiguchi is on that list. There you go, as you said. Kiyoma Akimoto, that's a good one as well. I mean, off of I mean, if we're talking like Ryzen stuff, I just don't. I don't have the deep Ryzen knowledge to have all of that in there. So like, Aoki, even if he's dirty, yeah, I probably wouldn't go that far. But yeah, I mean, those are the ones that I can like instantly name. And I'm sure that there are some from deep that I'd like to say, but I don't remember their names off the top of my head. The guy in the Pokemon walkout, he was actually pretty good. Oh, and the dude who fought Rod Tang. That wasn't Naito, was it? Maybe it was. Oh yeah, Takeru. There you go. Takeru is on the list as well. Yeah, my bad. Ironhead is in Pride was not bad. I forget his real name. Recently found out that Shinya Aoki subbed the terrorist Ali in just 12 seconds via flying armbar in 2006. Let's fucking go. I didn't even know that Ali competed like that. Well, score 1 for Aoki then. Aoki was considered the best pound for pound grappler in the world. And we're talking MMA fighters though, no? Gotta consider all of the skills in that. W list, like I said, you put me on the spot like that. I try my best, but I'm not as much as I like to think that I have like a decent memory when it comes to this sport. Like I know that there are other like fighters with the encyclopedic knowledge that could have just lapped me. And no beanbag in the banger fight. Wow, what a dud. What a dud of a card here. He did MMA, but never really did any striking and went on a good run. Fair. I mean, look, then put him on your list. You know what I'm saying? He had Paul Harris tendencies. I mean, that's, again, why I don't particularly care for him. Ali competed in jiu-jitsu for many years. That's one of my favorite gifs to reply to his Twitter post with. There's a gif of him getting flying armbarred with text on screen that says, terrorist rat and did shit but tap like chicken. Damn. Yeah, I mean, I'm not hitting the boo drop on this card because the main event was pretty decent, but still no finish. I cannot believe that these people out here. Imagine if you went all the way to Thailand and this was the card that you got. Knowing what we know about RWS, if I planned a trip to Thailand and this was the RWS card that I got, I would be furious. I might have to extend my trip another week just to catch another card. That's why they serve free beer, I guess so, man. Wasted on me. 0 finishes on an entire combat card is inexcusable. Fire everybody. Fire everybody indeed. All right. Well, we got about 4 minutes and we'll call this thing a close then. An unfortunate lack of finishes, lack of beanbags, but at least we get a little cameo from Yamakat. Hey, buddy. You don't want to come over? Okay, you can go wherever you want. I thought we were getting a Yamakat cameo. See, we don't even get that. You did get a pretty good crash out, considering that I was yelling about the rule set pretty extensively earlier on. But, yeah. Appreciate it as always, guys. You're the best. Thank you for making a less than stellar card still a fun one. Thankfully, it's Thailand, so if you came from America to watch this card, you only had to pay about $3.50 to see it. Dude, I cannot fucking wait. I cannot wait to save up some money and just live like a king for a week in Thailand. 10 days in Thailand, living like an absolute legend. All right, Yamakat's back. Want to say hello to everybody, bud? You want to say hello? You can come over and say hello. Okay, do whatever you want. All right, so that being said, guys, again, I appreciate it. We're going to wrap this thing up here. Tomorrow night, podcast, myself and Chase Parton will be breaking down each and every fight from UFC 330, giving our predictions for the upcoming week. New video should be out this week. I got to check my messages after this and see if the draft has been sent over. But we should be getting a new video coming out very soon. Hopefully y'all will enjoy that. Like it, share it, do all the stuff that you do when a video comes out. Appreciate all you guys liking, commenting, sharing the clips. Thank you very much. The short form content has been doing very well. Appreciate that. If you are on Instagram, Twitter, or on TikTok or Facebook, at Yama Show on all of those platforms. So make sure that you're following. Make sure you're doing all the stuff that you need to do for those as well. Support the channel. It's all free to do, and it really helps out a whole hell of a lot. So thank you very much for that. Yamashow.com. Get yourself some merch if you don't already have it. Wes just got his, looking fresh as fuck, beating women off with a stick at this point, considering that he has now increased his attractiveness by a measurable amount. It's just science, bro. It's not conjecture. That being said, guys, I guess that is going to about do it for this evening. So, as always, everybody, you are the greatest, and I appreciate your time in this evening. What's your TikTok? At Yama Show, brother. At Yama Show, YAMMASHOW, everywhere on all social media. So, I will see you tomorrow for the podcast. See if I can get some other video stuff out during the week. We'll see how everything works out. But either way, you have a great rest of your night, a great rest of your weekend, and as always, fight on.
Game.